we last left off, you had all enjoyed some last-minute preparations in Tradeacre, picked up a few little things from the store that you needed, picked up some armor that was being repaired and resized. You spoke with some tinkerers about some possible plans for a carrying system for the back of the half-giant, and got out of there as quickly as you could with some newfound purchases and with a whole 2 weeks ahead of you of travel. 2 weeks interrupted quite often by interesting little things on the road that only made it more difficult for you to continue your travels, and in some cases only bolstered you for the next day of your travels, until finally it all came to a spearhead. All the good weather you had been seeing had come to a spearhead, and you had horrible, horrible lightning storm on your 6th or 7th day of travel. I don't remember specifically. But after narrowly surviving this terrifying lightning storm, and Byron nearly being struck 4 times. Clonus nearly getting struck like 4 times. Venora, Ghibli getting absolutely fried. Cephas and the horse, now referred to as Lucky, being absolutely fried. And Vith taking like 6 different bolts like a champ. You all were okay, all capable of continuing on, still with your broken axle on your cart, but continuing on. And then you experience like a whole week of perfectly safe, fine travel. And now about a day and a half to 2 days before reaching Fort Trinity, on the road ahead of you, you saw a small cart being pulled by a mule, and 2 wayward travelers in need. Broken down on the side of the King's Road, their mule very, very sick. You healed their mule, took its illness, and got it back in working shape, and now have learned that they were on their way to Fort Trinity to seek aid in person, after many letters from members of their community have been seemingly ignored by Fort Trinity, after the Riskelian army left their small village of Withaerst unattended by their capable men and women. So, offering your services, you all joined them in their journey now back to the little village of Withaerst. And as you crested the last little hill, you saw smoke, dark black smoke, pluming up into the night as it's just at the edge of sunset, and dark black smoke is rising up into the clouds, and you can see 3 distinct fires ahead of you in this small little village. And immediately, each of you jumping into a breakneck pace, running straight for the city, as Edovard quickly mounted up onto the horse and connected it from the cart and went racing ahead without stopping for a moment. He grabbed Ghibli, threw Ghibli, while Ghibli jumped up into the air onto the back of the horse, and the 2 of them rode straight ahead. This beautifully cinematic moment. Where we will pick up, you guys are approaching the village rapidly. Let's do a quick point of order thing here. All of you are running for it, but the pace at which you're going is very different for some of you. So everybody in the group is going at about the same speed, except for Edovard and Ghibli.
Oh, that's right. Well,
what are you on?
You took off, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, you're just a little bit slower, but that's why I say you guys are going at relatively the same. But there's a drastically different, drastically different disparity when it comes to, because they're going. You're on a horse, which I think the speed of the horse is 60 feet, right?
60 feet, because it's not like a riding horse.
Yeah, let me double check.
Regular.
It's a lightning horse now, yeah. Oh. It's always benefiting from the...
Just leaves a trail of lightning behind it.
Or whatever.
Haste?
Yes, haste constantly.
Haste is what I was... Oh, yeah. A riding horse, here we go. The speed of the riding horse is 60 feet. So if you guys are dashing, I will say with the two of you on it, even though he's smaller, he's still pretty heavy, like a normal-sized dwarf would be. Actually, go ahead and have the horse make a strength check for me.
Do you have its stats?
I do. It's right for me, so it's a +3.
Ooh. Does that count?
Did you roll it?
Yes, but it bounced out of the roll zone.
Into what?
The non-roll zone, the storage zone.
Is it sitting flat?
I don't have a level.
Yeah, it's level.
All right, so +3, 12.
Okay, 12. Yeah, we'll say the horse's speed is only 50 with two of you riding on it.
Okay. So 100.
While dashing, you guys are going 100 feet straight for the village. The rest of you guys, what are you doing in order to get to the village as fast as you can?
Running.
Just running?
Is the
I was
cart,
running.
Is the other cart
So one cart now has nothing pulling it and it's stopped, and it's your guys' cart. The other cart that Samson and Christiana had, they were told to stay and wait.
So I'm
Then
dashing.
we're ready.
Okay. You guys will be moving as a single unit, and then Ghibli and Edinburgh, just to make sure that that's the case.
Is it just a straight shot, or?
It's like straight ahead of you. I mean, you're not running on a road; you're running through fields.
Because I'm flying.
Or yeah, for you, you're flying, but like it is a straight shot, so you guys are all kind of going as the crow flies. You just a little bit more. The like little divots and holes in the ground, you won't have to worry about. So we'll say you get there one round sooner than they. Okay.
And we haven't done anything this day, right? Like,
Besides those that helped the
only thing that happened on this day was you had long rested, and then you had come across these people on the side of the road.
Okay.
And so Cephas, used some healing. Somebody else might have. I'm not sure. But I think other than that, nobody has done anything.
I cast speak with animals.
He cast speak. That's what it was.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to have you guys all roll initiative anyway, but I just will skip over the turns to the people that aren't in it until it comes up. That way we don't have to interrupt it later and roll initiative again.
Ooh, boy.
Hey! Not as bad as you. Because I just assume you did bad.
What did I do?
Did bad.
I didn't do bad. I did good.
Get
When I
right.
roll within a designated area, it's really good. That's what it is.
That's
That's what it be.
just the way it is.
Has nothing to do with your way to die.
There it is.
Hey, I didn't use the weight.
Okay, 20 to...
Did
Oh, wait,
last
let me roll for...
No.
some stuff.
I rolled bad.
I know. I'm having a hard day over here.
Sound effects are great.
I'm having a rough day over here.
You hear from the village.
You hear from the village, I feel slow.
We get there and the villagers already won.
What's all this fire? We're cooking the knolls.
You guys ever had roast hyena?
Gamey.
That would be
That's
like
not just
the
hyena, that's also like hyena
most-
people.
Yeah.
Alright, 20 to 25.
20.
Edovard.
Oh.
Edovard will be going first. Nobody else, 20 or above? Okay, 15 to 20.
16.
16.
Right. Talking big talk over here.
Well, yeah, I
Homer
just
or
assumed
no,
he would
Ghibli
do
will be
that.
going first because he's with Edovard.
Big talk for a not very
That's
big.
good. So you guys got
short
pretty
guy,
close
man.
to the same initiative
What are you
here,
talking
so that'll
about?
make it
I'm
really
way
easy.
taller than you.
Yeah, you are.
15? Anybody else? Okay, 10 to 14.
13.
Nobody else? Alright. 10 and below.
3.
4? You want to be last? So Clonus and then Venora. Venora, you've had rough initiative
Yeah,
this game.
it's bad.
You gotta gird your loins before you run.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I did
Rest
stretch.
That's the problem. You weren't girding your loins.
It was that
I
auger.
like
Nora
to come
takes
in
the
last
first
and
round
see
to be
how
like,
it's going, and she
got a
needs help.
diaper.
She's running with that auger and slowing her down.
Yeah.
Quit dragging
Remember
that auger around.
The wagon rolled over my
As a
foot.
cleric, it's not a bad gig to go after.
No, it's
Not at all.
Set.
No, yeah.
Okay. 3 rounds of
Trace.
you guys being ahead of the situation here. Edovard and Ghibli. As the two of you approach, you get closer and closer. The smoke is now like filling your nostrils. There's this horrible smell of like burning pitch and tar, and you can smell like the thatch roofs of all of these village homes just like completely engulfed in flame. And the closer and closer you get, a lot of that smoke is also kind of resting low enough that you are kind of charging into this smoky battlefield. The two of you, as you approach, I'll say the turn before you get in there. Go ahead and make perception checks.
Actually, can I do something on the first turn of the 3 that we would have?
Like your action for that? Yeah. This is out of initiative. So.
Okay. First, just tell Ghibli I'm going to drop you off at the first burning house, and then proceed to the farthest.
All right.
Get anyone out of a burning house, and then in ascension of danger, help the people.
I will tell you which direction you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like towards the village. So straight ahead of you, before you got into the smoke and you couldn't see, you would see like these 4 homes. There are more than what's on this map. I can't draw more of it though. But the further out you get from what's drawn on this map, the homes get further and further apart from each other. Because this is a very small, like, hovel village, right? It's got like 300 something people that live here total, but they're very spread out throughout this valley or throughout this field. But this is like the city center of their village. And it's a collection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 to 10 buildings. And then it gets like every 100 or so feet, there's a building and another home or whatever. So what you see, like, of this cluster straight ahead of you are these 4 buildings, presumably homes. One of them on the far left is on fire, and then the other 2 burning buildings are on the other side of this town square.
Then I just want to grab a canteen, and since I have wrapping over my face, pour water on my mouth portion to keep it wet, so the smoke is less smoke inhalation. And then
Pour water over the front of the wrapping for
yeah.
your mouth?
Okay, it's gonna waterboard himself.
yeah,
Yeah.
my water myself. And then I just hand Ghibli a rag in the canteen for him to do the same.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Sounds good.
That was
So
it.
both of you just have wet rags tied in front of your faces like bandanas. Before initiative starts, I want the 2 of you to go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Less good.
Is that in the rolling area?
Smoke's in my eyes. 4.
That's what this is determining.
16.
16? Wow. Okay. Very good. Edivard in the front,
Low and out of
like
smoke.
running the horse here, you immediately, smoke is attacking your eyes. It's burning. Your eyes are watering, and you barely have any, skin or anything available to, like, for the air to touch. And one of the things that, like, is actually exposed to air is your eyes. And so
And
it's
smoke
just
follows
this-
beauty. So.
well, and they follow the beauty of your eyes. So
Just trying to get to Ghibli behind
it's
you.
taking everything you have. It's taking everything you have to keep your eyes clear of tears and smoke to keep running the horse straight. Ghibli, you notice just in time that where he is running, you're going straight for a house. Not a house on fire, but as you are approaching the village, he is going head first into a home, and he needs to veer off to the left.
I quickly tell Edivard, like, pull the horse back, pull the horse back.
Okay, so you come to a stop just in time, pulling the horse to a stop, and then Ghibli, you jump down.
The first house that's in front of me was at the first burning house.
He took you to that. Yeah, the one that you stopped him from running into, is the one on fire.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll start initiative. Is you guys reach that, and these are your guys' first 3 rounds, where it's just the 2 of you. Immediately, when you guys stop and you pull into this little village, directly to your left, there is this burning building. It's a very small, what looks like a small, like, thatch roof home. The building is made up primarily of stone. Because, like, the area you guys are in, there's, like, not a forest in sight for, like, 100 miles. So all of these buildings are made up of, like, they're like those old English, like, small hovel, homes that are made of a bunch of stones piled up on top of each other, and they're, like, glued together. And the tops are made of, like, this, like, some of it's got wood, maybe, like, from trees they found or from traders that come through, but most of it is, like, these thatch roof homes, like, held together with mud and pitch and stuff like that. So you see the roof is taking to the flame quite quickly. The house itself, it's, like, slowly starting to crumble, but it's got some time. So immediately to your left, burning in flames, you hear throughout the town some screams and a lot of, like, loud coughing and hacking and like children crying and men and women screaming. But the one sound above all of it that you can hear pretty predominantly is this terrifying, like, the hairs on the back of your neck stick up when you hear it, like this screeching cackle. It sounds like this hideous laughter, but at the end, as the laughter ends, it has this almost like this hee-haw effect to it almost, like this strange kind of donkey, like, the word I think is bray or whatever, right?
Braying.
And it's terrifying. It kind of just gives this chill throughout your body that is, it's unnatural. So, you're hearing that from around you. I mean, with the sounds of the burning and roaring flames, it's kind of discordant. You know, you're not sure which direction it's coming from. Especially you, Edvard. You're just so lost in the sauce of this smoke.
Whoa.
Whoa. But I will say, Ghibli, you hear from the building to your left, the one on fire, you do hear crying. It sounds like women and children crying in the building to your left. You hear some in the building to your right, that larger building, and straight ahead of you, you hear some of that screech-like cackling straight ahead, but you're not sure how far. Ghibli, you can barely see the silhouette of two individuals. You're not sure whether they are the evildoers here or not because of the smoke. You see straight ahead of you the silhouette of two individuals, running around the corner of the building ahead of you. So, Edvard, it's your turn first.
I
just dropped Ghibli off.
I want to clarify. I'm getting off the horse once I get to my house.
I just don't have horse.
Got it. Just want to make sure.
I know. So it's your turn.
And they're large, yeah.
If you're using your action, you can go now 120 feet. Because now it's just you on the horse, so you have a 60-foot movement.
Then I'm going for that burning house right there.
Okay. So, go ahead and... what is your passive perception -5? Even worse. Okay.
Not good.
Yeah. You're going to have to use an action to try and perceive anything through this smoke, other than what your passive perception is going to give you in this smoky area. So we will treat this as though you can see like 10 feet ahead of you relatively clearly, and anything beyond that is heavily obscured. Okay?
So I don't see this house burn.
You can see the light of the fire.
Okay.
So you know, like, to go there. I'm just
That's
saying,
what I'm
no,
going for.
yes. You can, I'm not trying to tell you that you can't go there. I'm just telling you so that you know what to expect as far as what you can see. So, rushing over there, go ahead. Do you have to use a dash to get there? Okay, so at about that point, you are in just like a sea of nothing because you can't see anything beyond 10 feet.
Yeah.
But you can, other than just the glow of that flame. So you continue riding for it, and you would pass the corner of another building. Sorry, continue. Is that as far as you can go?
50, 60.
Okay.
60.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Directly ahead of you, you see roaring flames. It looks like the way the building, the direction it's going, from what you can tell, is a much larger building than the one that was on fire before. And inside of it, you can hear other than the sounds of the flame roaring directly ahead of you, you can also hear glass breaking, pots and pans clanging to the ground, different sounds of different metal and stuff hitting ground or hitting each other straight ahead of you.
And then I'm out of movement, so I don't think I can dismount. Right?
Technically not.
Yeah,
Technically no.
Then I just look around for any of the gnolls, and if I don't see anything, then I don't. I wait.
I will say, standing there, as you end your turn, straight ahead of you, that sound of ruckus inside the burning building, you do then hear this yipping, laughing cackle similar to the others, but it's this quick, excited sound to it, and it's in the building directly ahead.
That's 60. I still have an action then, because I can dash.
Yeah.
Then I will use my action to dash, and then dismount. So I have.
Okay.
15,
so where are you?
15.
You're dashing. You're not moving anymore. You're just using the dash action to dismount.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. So you're no longer on the horse, and you're just leaving the horse there.
Yeah. If there's a post, which I doubt there is, I'll throw the lash on it. But
go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me. See if you can get the horse to stay there. He's in the middle of the burning
natural
village.
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doing your absolute... Do you have a minus?
No.
Oh.
I just don't have
Doing your
anything.
absolute best to, keep the horse calm. You jump down off of the horse, the deaf horse, looking at it straight in the eyes. You just... How do you calm it down?
Intimidation.
Really?
Yeah. Don't move.
Okay, it can't hear you.
Yeah. Through the eyes. That's all I got to communicate.
So you stare daggers into the eyes of this horse, and you convince it that you'll kill it if it moves.
Absolutely.
You
Petrified the horse.
You just watch the horse, where it was terrified, kind of jumping up, looking at the fire. It's now more mortally terrified of you than it is the fire 5 feet away from you. And it stands there, unmoving.
Bueno.
Okay.
I will
Now, where are you running
affect
to?
whatever disease I have.
Try around the corner. Because unless that fire's on top of the building, yeah.
It's
There's
mostly consumed that corner. There's a reason like I cut those walls off of that building there. It is burning all down the side of that wall. So wherever that orange is on the map there is fire right there. So you're within like 5 feet of it right now.
I can make a running long jump inside,
Okay, you can try.
so I can go 1, 2, which is a 10-foot run up and then jump in.
You can, yeah.
Which I forget how long a running long jump is. It's my
It's your
modifier.
strength score.
Score 16, so 15 feet.
Yep. So you land. I'm still going to have you make a dexterity saving throw because you're jumping through flames.
Absolutely.
You're not jumping over them.
Ooh, 5.
And you're not only jumping through flames. It's like those walls are burned and broken down, but not. It's not like a perfect cutout, right?
Yeah.
So there's like some rubble there. You roll 5.
5.
Okay. So you, with as much visual as you have, which is very little, these burning bright flames, you run. Man, it wouldn't it be funny if the wall was there and you just hit right in it? You run straight for the fire, and leaping through it, you do clip the top portion of the wall and go poof, straight into your face, flip backwards, and land where you want to land.
Prone.
However, prone, and you do take some damage.
Don't worry, no one's out.
Good thing nobody
Don't
saw that.
worry. Honestly,
Yeah.
we'll find out. You only take 1 bludgeoning damage, but the rock is real hot, and you take 5 fire.
Okay.
So you just jump in this beautiful leap, and then boom, hit the ground. Ending your turn there, right?
Yep.
What you
Here
do?
to save you.
You just barely look up into the room to see what this building is. There are racks and shelves all around inside of this room. You see like a ton of glass bottles with what could be alcohol, oil, and water. You see like racks with some like a few like tools and then like clothes. It's like a run-of-the-mill general store. Like just little bits of anything and everything in here, within reason for a very small town. But you don't get a lot of time to analyze it. I'm just saying, like, imagine that for Jude. And as you look up, you see directly across the room from you, you see 2 disgustingly horrifying creatures. Straight ahead of you, standing up bipedal, are 2 tall, like, pockmarked and patchy-furred, hyena-like creatures. These weird canine people. But their backs are like hunched and they look like they've been broken multiple times. You see like a bone protruding from one of them in the corner of its arm. They hold these like narrow and jagged spears. They have like makeshift bows on the side of them. And they are like like screeching to one another and yelping as they're rummaging through these crates of stuff and just like throwing glass bottles out the side of these crates looking for stuff. And immediately, as you look up, they both, like their necks, you hear them snap as they turn looking directly at you, and both of them let out this long, like, whooping howl and screeching sound directly towards you. With that, Ghibli, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. So the fire right next to my left. Is there a door at the corner of that house right there?
Yes, that is what the red things are on the map. So if you see one of those, it's a door.
Okay.
And Ghibli can see it with that perception check you rolled earlier. Barely. I mean, still, there's moments where it escapes your vision as smoke is like rushing towards you. But you do for a moment see a door there. It does look closed.
All right. I rushed to the door and I tried to quickly open the door.
Okay. So how much movement is that? 5, 10?
25
Okay.
to get to the door.
You get to the door and you go to open it. It is locked.
It's locked. What am I call it?
Well, I should say it is not locked. You do feel and see a slight bit of nudge to it, but it is blocked with something.
I'm going to barge open the door.
Okay. That will be an action. Okay. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
Gotcha. That's a 21.
Wow. Okay. So running, you stop on the doorstep. there's this moment where you are unable to get in, and you're kind of banging against it, realizing that it's not locked, but it is just blocked. You step back, ram the door with your shoulder, and you just allow that momentum to carry through as you push the door open, forcing it open. Behind it, a kid goes flying.
Dumb kid.
He's like, I was trying to open it. There is in a moment of like all the air like rushing through and smoke blasting your eyes. You just see what looked like some sort of wardrobe or something was knocked over in front of the door, and you just like shattered it in. It crunched inwards as you pushed it back into the room, and it falls over it back into the room. And you see inside, you put this person and another one, both like in the back center 2 squares against the wall. Back center 2, right there. That one, yep, there you go. Narrowly missing one of them with the wardrobe that goes flying back into the back wall. You see 2 people huddled there just crying. One of them looks like, at first glance, kind of middle-aged woman, and another one is a child. So actually one of those you can hand back, and for the kids we'll use these little blue dots.
Child.
She's clutching this kid in her arms, holding him there, and you see she is crying, but doing her best not to as this kid is just wailing. Both of them are burning in this room. For whatever reason, trapped in it.
Yeah. They are trapped in this room.
They were. Not anymore because it's broken. What I mean to say is like the wardrobe had fallen in front of the door, trapping them in it, and now they're not.
And so seeing the 2, since let's say I've used up how much of
25.
I used up everything. I just wave my arms like, come out! Get out of the house!
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma check for me.
How do you do that? Intimidation.
Intimidation. Do it or you die.
Careful, if Spider-Man 1 has taught us anything, it could be the Green Goblin.
Ghibli. Just a charisma check.
Just a charisma.
14.
Okay. You see the sound and like the whole somebody breaking down a door with a wardrobe behind it obviously got their attention. The kid is still screaming and crying, and the sight of you terrifies the kid more in this moment. I mean, a loud sound and a bang as the kid is looking at you, screaming and crying, but she kind of like she looks at you, a moment of hope as her eyes like go wide and bright as she lifts the kid up as best she can, and it seems like they will run out with you.
Awesome.
Okay, ending your turn. So the next turn, just before Holik, is where did I put my?
Oh no!
Hey,
It's Fire's turn.
The Fire's
It uses spread.
The NPC's turn. So the 2 of them will run 30 feet. She's actually carrying the kid, so I'm going to have her make a strength check, or else her speed will be halved. Okay, that's fine. She has a -1, so she got a 10. She lifts the kid up. Go ahead and... So she can get to the square just beside Ghibli. Outside. There you go. And we'll just assume she's carrying the kid. You can give me that back. Okay. So rushing past you, as you hold this door open for her so it doesn't swing back shut on her, she carries, you see what looks somewhere between like a 3 and 6-year-old little boy over her shoulder as rushes out.
Is it possible to make a very quick response or question for her?
Go for it.
It's like, was it just you 2 inside the house? Was it anyone else?
She just nods.
Okay.
As she rushes out the door. You do have your reaction. We put you out of your misery. As they just rush past you and the door comes slamming shut as you let go of it, and you stand there now, kind of in the way of her in case anything runs towards you, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And with that, these 2 will also run.
Point of order, directionally, where did we come from? Did we come from the west?
You?
Yeah,
You came from the west going east.
Okay. From the west.
Next, the Knolls.
Oh, darn it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
They are, as far as you know, regular Knolls. The 2 Knolls in the general store both look over at Edovard, flat on the ground.
Oh, no.
I'm going to pretend to be debris.
Natural stealth.
You're trying to be Debbers.
Boom!
My reaction is
Debris.
I'm dead.
Somebody
You didn't roll that one on your
threw.
dex save, did you?
No.
There's no reason I should punish you and make you prone for this thing. You are prone.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You just failed to do what you were doing, but you did land in there.
All right. I'm gonna have a welt on my real big goose egg on my head though.
Like he rolled, like he
No one will
hit
notice.
his
It will
head,
hit it.
rolled back onto his feet.
Like he still landed.
Oh, no,
He
don't worry.
hit
As
his
soon as
head,
I
cracking
landed-
his head on the wall as he came jumping in, but he still landed where he wanted to.
I landed on my back and then rolled onto my
There was
shoulders.
no reason he
flipped onto
could've-
my feet.
There was no reason he would have used so much force in his jump, hit it and flip over. Like that was a bit much. You are still next to the fire, so when you start your turn within 5 feet of it, you will take some damage.
Okay.
It's like that video from high school of that guy that
So,
runs and
yes.
jumps into the metal.
This one will run up to you. So, just cackling and screeching as it runs up to you. It will bite you.
No.
I believe an 18 hits.
Shield.
Cast shield.
I do.
Okay.
Oh.
So as a
So, in
reaction-
high contrast to the red flames all around me, a shimmering blue force comes in between his blade and my bode.
Well, actually, his mouth, as he rushes forward and he goes to bite you,
Yeah.
he lunges at you straight for like your neck, and that blue. What does it look like? Just a blue bubble?
Just a flash of blue.
Just
Yeah.
a flash of blue as it reflects back on him, and he kind of like is jostled there. I don't believe he has multi-attack, so that is all for that one. The other one
Low
here.
level enemies.
So it will also, as it enters within 5 feet of the flames, it will fail.
And died.
It just runs in and
It just runs straight into the center of the fire.
Okay, so that one will run straight up to you, and instead of going for a bite, it takes this gnarled spear in its hands. It runs to go and try and run you through with it. Where's my d20? And it is holding it two-handed.
Yeah.
Okay, less. So I'm assuming because shield is still up, it misses.
22 is my AC.
Yeah, so as it goes to run you through with this spear, it bounces off this magical shield. And
Sounds like a whip cracking. Just a flash of blue.
Okay. Deflecting that. The
Does
other
Vader use a
gnolls. All right. Ending the gnoll's turn. Lumen. Nope. I'm an idiot. Edovard's second turn.
We all get.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Oh.
Right back to you.
Oh, it's an action to perceive anything. What about audio? Like audibly perceive? I want to hear
That's
crying in
based
the
on your
building.
passive perception. So,
Okay.
unless you want to, purposely try and spend some time focusing on it. What you hear around you, the roaring flames beside you. Actually, start your turn. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's right. Oh, I'm better at those. 15.
Okay, you'll take half damage.
Hey.
So 1 fire damage as you stand close to these roaring flames. What?
I will
shield or something?
use a reaction to cast Absorb Elements.
You just used your... Oh, it's your
My
turn.
Well, that's one
It's
fire
1
damage.
fire damage.
I know, it would just add a d6 of fire damage to my next
Oh, it
attack.
doesn't matter how much it is?
No.
Okay. I'll allow you to
but-
just remove the 1 if you want.
It's just one.
But
I'll
it's
take
probably
the one.
more valuable,
Yeah,
is that
I'll
what
take
you're
the
saying?
one. I'll take the one.
Okay, so starting your turn, you hear obviously right next to you this roaring flame. A bottle on the other side of the store just crashes down from one of the walls. You do hear crying and screaming outside of the building. Your best, I mean, it's just somewhere out there. It's just not in this building. That's the best you know. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the way you came from, though.
Yeah. I will use I'll attack the gnoll right in front of me
Okay.
with my longsword. Ooh, 20-something.
Definitely hits. Which, the one that's, okay,
Directly in front
the
of me,
one
yeah.
that,
Tried to run me
the
through.
spear, yeah.
Oh, max damage. 11.
Okay. This is the one that's taken damage already.
Hey. That's nice. And then use my bonus action and I'll use my bonus action attack to push him back 5
The same
feet.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
we
that's
both
like
have to
a
make
grapple check, right?
contested
It's a contested
athletics. Yeah.
It's athletics specifically. He can't use.
Oh, it might be acrobat. I don't know for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can use both.
I was pretty sure because he can try and avoid the
Yeah.
shove.
Yeah.
But in this case, he will use his strength.
18.
19.
Oh,
So I was going to try and say it first so you didn't think I was cheating, but he did roll
No.
17 plus 2.
I think you're cheating regardless. And then I'm going to use.
Levi can look at it. It's right
I'm
there.
just kidding. I don't think the Gnoll cheated.
He did cheat.
I will then just use my action surge and take another sword attack at him. Ooh, 13 for the longsword attack.
This is... you use your action surge?
Yeah.
13 misses.
Okay.
So you... What was the first attack with your longsword?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you do slash across his chest. Blood spills out onto the ground that's burning, and it sizzles along the ground. Your next one, you go to push him back, and he stands there, resolute. This huge hulking figure. He's like almost 7 feet tall, just thick muscle, but like wiry in his legs. As you go to push him, he does not move at all. And then you go to slash again, and this time with a spear, he bashes it to the side.
That ends my turn.
Okay. Ghibli. Out into the crowd now. That perception has worn off. Now it is back to your passive, which is 9. So you just see smoke all around you. Wherever those people were, like, you don't necessarily see those people that I put on the map there, but you do know, like, the direction, like, the action was in. But this home in front of you is still burning. What would you like to do?
First, I want to take my coat off and give it to the lady and the kid. Just cover them up a little bit more from the smoke and the ashes going around.
Okay. So you expertly, like, whip your nice, noble overcoat off and throw it over her. She does her best to kind of hold it over her so that she can protect her eyes and stuff.
She's like,
Right, and you said that that there
I'm
was
already warm. I don't need it.
was there
Thank you. I have a husband.
from what you said earlier, like some cackling or some laughter over from that direction?
It was in this direction, yes. You weren't sure where it was coming from exactly, but it was in this direction.
Mm-hmm. So,
And you had heard it, yeah.
all right then, and I have heard. I have seen that house over there.
Yeah.
So
The
So
one
I-
that's like this middle one?
yes.
Yeah, you can see it now.
All right. I guide the lady to the house, and I ask her just to stay behind that house, so that she is not seen in the center.
So on her turn, she'll run back that direction and go behind that one.
And then I go around the corner of that house, and do I see anything when I move?
You're running this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lex, you want to go ahead and move him 5, 10, 15. Move him just to that corner, I'm assuming? No, this house. Yeah. The smoke is still really, really thick. You don't quite see, because I was telling you, you're out to like 10 feet unless you decide to make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
So you will have to run closer or run more in that direction, but you've only used 15 feet. Actually,
Gotcha.
you used 10 feet. No, you used 15.
I'll be making my way to the front door of that house regardless.
Okay.
And then I see that note right there.
You have 25 feet of movement, right?
Yes.
So he only has one less than that. But I will say, just barely, you do see this like silhouette of a figure right there that's running around. It was coming out from this direction. It's running around and chasing. Like, you can, I guess you wouldn't necessarily know that, but you see it running. Like, in that moment, you watch it run by, and you can hear screaming of 2 people running that direction.
And if I do a perception check, would that use an action?
Technically, it is an action. That's why you're using your passive unless you choose to look closer or something like that.
Absolutely. I will just make a very quick but loud shout to that one large figure, and I'm actually going to throw my throwing axe at the figure.
Go for it. So you will have, let's see, this obscured in that way. Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. That is. That's a 17.
Hits.
All right.
So what do you yell?
I just shout out, just hi.
Okay. So this loud shout as you throw an axe, go and deal damage.
Hey, peasant.
No, he was confident when he
I
was running
know,
by.
I
He
know.
he could hear it, like that screeching, whooping noise.
It just makes it funny.
Sorry, I'm not. Whatchamacallit?
Mommy, why?
Oh, okay. That's a 8.
An 8?
Yes.
It was
Alright.
the kid he just saved out of the other house.
That's 8 damage, right?
8 damage, yes.
That kid gets around quick. All
Fast
the way
kid.
around that house.
Well, his
Alright.
mom took him half the way.
You throw this axe, and there's this loud, like screeching and a squelch as it buries into whatever you threw it directly at, and it whips around, stopping its running. It whips around, looking right at you, and the only thing you can see through the smoke very clearly are like glowing red eyes looking right at you.
And then I pull my sword and just get ready.
Okay. Ending your turn, those NPCs will continue running. Lexi, do you want to 30 feet straight for that fountain? And then, sorry, straight for Matt's loot. They would not get that close to the fire, though.
Oh.
There you go. And then there are more now that are coming out into the woodworks. This one. Can't necessarily see them, but okay. And then the gnolls will both attack Edovar.
Why? We're standing right next to each other. We could hit each other.
That's true. I believe that's a miss. Yep. One of them goes to, again, try and bite you and misses. The other one, again, with its spear. It whips the spear around, now holding it over its head. It's going to try and spear you. That's a definite hit. That's a 20 to hit.
Shield.
You shield again?
Yeah, I put both my weapons up instinctually, but it's still going to go through because he's trying to pierce me with it. And then on my hip, my book just flips open on its own, and some runes begin to glow, and the blue energy again.
Okay, so like a whip, that blue energy lashes out and smacks the spear away. That's both of their attacks. The gnoll that you were fighting, Ghibli, rushes towards you. So go ahead and put that gnoll within 5 feet of Ghibli for me. And it will... Actually, you know what? You can leave it there for a second, but can you make... or what is your intimidation modifier?
-1.
-1? That makes sense, I guess. You're small.
And
so
a gentleman.
in that case, he does rush for you. And he will go to spear you. So you see, as he's running for you, as he becomes clearer and clearer in your vision, you can see right where you hit him. Your hand axe is like buried in his thigh as he rushes for you with this spear, just holding it over his head with both hands. He goes to attack you. 7.
All right. In reaction to that,
Okay.
as he's going to go and spear me, I then quickly kick my foot into his axe, making him stumble, and I go for a thrust to attack him with a riposte.
Okay. Go for it. So you get to make an attack roll, right?
Yes.
All right. So seeing that weak point where your axe was buried in his thigh, you kick it, he stumbles, he misses, and then what'd you roll?
21.
Perfect strike. Straight in his belly. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Get him.
Open him up.
All right, then. That's 10 piercing.
Okay. That's insane.
That's
So
rad.
Ow.
basically allowing him to skewer himself on your sword. He's rushing for you. You stop him. Goes to still lunge. He's tripped up and impales on your sword. As you pull the sword back, he still stands there just like bleeding out and this horrible like bubbling and gurgling sound straight ahead of you. He's still kicking, but he's very, very hurt. Those gnolls, and then some of you guys put them out there or not, you can't see them, but you guys will be able to see them when you get there. So go ahead and put these gnolls. They have to dash to get there, but put them to make an L with those two NPCs, but on the other side, and one more away from you. Perfect. 2 gnolls rush forward out of one of the homes towards those NPCs. Nobody can see it, but it happens. All right, last round before you guys get there. Sorry it's taking so long.
You're good.
Hard.
I will.
But these NPCs would have been in a worse situation had these two not gotten here this soon. 3 rounds would have gone by, or they could have got
Dex.
eaten.
Or eaten.
I will. How does the gnoll in front of me look? Does he look hurt from that?
He looks pretty hurt. I mean, you like slashed across his chest, so it looks like it's harder for him to hold that spear. And he's pretty hurt.
I disengage.
As an action, right?
Yeah. And is the horse still there?
Are you just running through the flames?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and I'll give you the option. Would Edovard try and just like tough it out, or would he try and use careful footing to get through as cleverly as possible?
Tough it out.
Okay, Constitution saving throw. Actually, this is just a Constitution.
Critical fail.
Critical fail. Okay, you're taking full damage here. How many squares of fire do you walk through?
3. 1, 2. Oh, 2.
You can go through just 2. Wow. 6 fire damage.
Ooh. Not be.
That looked big.
Just rushing through burning flames. I mean, it's a wall of fire right there.
Yeah.
You come out on the other side without hitting your head this time.
Hey!
You took the same amount of damage, didn't you?
What?
No, you didn't.
I took like
1
Oh, 6.
5 fire. 6.
Was it 6 before? It was 1 and 5?
1 and 5.
Yeah, so it was the same.
I should hit my head more. Is the horse still there? I put the fear of
Oh, the horse.
horse.
So let's see if those 2 gnolls running up, if they're passive intimidation. Actually, I'm just going to have the horse roll.
Don't you have to have the horse roll perception to see them in the smoke?
That's true.
It's blind horse.
Okay, it definitely sees them.
It's blind and
He
deaf
rolled a
horse.
22 perception.
Whoa, he's more perceptive than I
They
am.
got good first roll.
Yeah, those horses.
Okay, the horse is standing right there, looking at you, but it's like looking over at the gnolls.
I
who
have-
You now barely see. You see those NPCs, those 2 villagers
Yeah.
in there. One of them, you see an older man, probably in his like 70s, as he's doing his best to run, but you can see he's like about to fall over. And beside him is a woman of comparable age. They're both just running, and right there, you can't see it, but there's just some looming figures in the smoke. But you can hear very clearly yipping and like gnashing and loud like biting of their teeth, like right there.
I have half
And
my
those
movement
2
left,
elderly people are like screaming as best as they can.
so I'm gonna get back on the horse,
Okay.
and then
Here, while you're on the horse, you can just use this.
yeah.
It's a unicorn, but it works.
Look, he's a unicorn.
So you can get rid of your mini and use that unicorn. Yeah, after getting struck by lightning, it's a unicorn.
Yes.
Transform.
I'll use a bonus action, use second wind, and then I'm just gonna have Squib land on my shoulders, holding the help action. Yeah, holding his help action. So the next attack against me is disadvantage.
Okay. Sounds good. So you heal up a little bit, and you pretty clearly see. Also, you know by like sitting on Lucky, he is avoiding a specific area. There are 2 monsters right there.
Yeah.
Ghibli.
And then go and make another decisive strike, or attempt to make a decisive strike against
strike out maneuver.
No,
Oh,
I'm just
It
deciding.
just sounded cool. So I thought maybe it was.
Watch it. Nice. All right, 22.
Yeah.
Then 12.
Okay, that one is dead.
Nice.
So quickly, again, kicking that thing further into his thigh, he screeches out, and you just quickly slash, and he crumbles to the ground. Okay, so I can take that mini.
And quickly, as he goes down, I grab the axe and just pull it back out with his momentum as he falls down. And was there screaming in the house next to me?
No, not that you hear, but you do hear screaming in you can't exactly see it, but there's probably something in this direction. You know that there was a fire in that direction, so there's some building that's on fire, and you can hear screaming in that direction.
I then start making my way to the other house on fire.
So running straight ahead of you, as you come around the corner of the house that you're standing next to, you see the door of another home. And how much movement did it take him to get up there?
25.
25? Okay, again, reaching the door with all of your movement, you get there and go You're unable to get in, just like the last one.
And I just attacked.
It doesn't seem like it's locked. It again seems like it's been blocked.
All right then. Yeah, I guess I'll just wait. I'll wait there until my next turn.
Okay, sounds good. Ending Ghibli's turn. It is now the Gnolls, and then we'll be back at the top, and then you guys will be able to. You will be arriving. So, yeah, NPCs. Those old people right next to those Gnolls.
They're gonna die.
Are not going to be loving this. One of them.
One of them's gonna take 2.
I'm not loving this.
So he runs and leaves his wife.
Any chance this old man's an 8th level barbarian?
I will say, given their elderliness, they are not able to take the disengage action. No. There's no.
Wow.
There's not really any dodging for
That's
that.
very
discrimin-
ableist of
Yeah,
you,
that
Sorry,
age
man.
discrimination.
However, I will allow the old man to attempt something.
Sand attack.
Want to hear a joke?
Okay.
He attempts to
Press
breathe
his
from
life
his
folder.
COPD inhaler.
Help! Help! You see as
I'm running
The-
and I can't get out.
older lady, Edvard, you see this couple right here.
Mhm.
As they're standing there, they're running. They stop as these two monsters towering over them are like readying to tear them apart. They both look up and screaming. The older man, just as a like lunging bite from one of the Gnolls, an opportunity attack as they start to run the other way. He pulls his wife to the side and he takes her spot, blocking her. So he basically, I allowed him to
Intercept.
Yeah. So he switches spots. The minis are identical. We don't need to switch them. He switches spots with her.
He's so much cooler.
That
and
old man.
That attack is now going on to him. It's a definite hit.
Man,
Nature bless you. I'm sorry.
none of us will ever be half as heroic as that old man.
Okay.
He
As
wasn't even level
he-
1.
He like grabs her arm and yanks as hard as he can, probably pulling it out of its socket. She falls to the ground slightly, barely staying standing, and he pulls himself, like uses that to pull himself forward. And just as he does, this Gnoll was already lunging for an attack as she was starting to run, and just buries its teeth deep into his neck and yanks flesh out of it, and he falls to the ground. She screams, looking at the body, and she was already crying. Both of them were as they were running. But as she screams, she looks up at the monster and turns, and she does start to run. So, no longer provoking opportunity attacks on her. She turns, and she can go, because she's dashing to be able to do this, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She can get to this center square in between these two buildings over here. She's running away from the situation. All right. With that, this other NPC here will run next to her and try and help. None of you can see it, but it happens. And then go ahead and recycle that old man's body. Another one gets to that fountain. But on the other side,
Recycle
right
that
here.
old man's body.
Perfect. That works. Perfect. Okay, so more people are running out of homes and stuff. All right, NPCs. Now the Gnolls. One Gnoll over the old man's body. He just jumps down and starts tearing into it, just eating him. You can see this, Edovard.
Great.
The other one next to him will run over to that civilian over there. Natural 20.
Bye-bye.
Edward just does nothing but watch
I
it.
know.
Wow, you're doing even less.
How do we do less, like not watching?
Yeah, you're not even
Watching
like
and doing nothing is
empathizing.
worse than is worse.
You
than
don't
not
even have any
watching.
empathy for that.
Okay, so that one
like
runs
to be
forward,
watched.
grabs it. You don't see it, but you hear, as that one leaves and vanishes into the smoke, you immediately hear a scream and like tearing as another NPC is dead. So you can go ahead and remove that one off if you want. Fine. All right, ending the Gnoll's turn. Actually, there's one Gnoll here that is coming out.
do any more?
That one on the corner is the building where that other NPC came out. One more towards me. Perfect. Another gnoll. Jude, you can hear yipping and howling straight ahead of you now, and as another one is like rushing towards you, and you still can't yet see it. All right, ending the gnoll's turn. Top of the round, Edovard.
I'm riding forward to this knoll.
As soon as you get there, you see two.
Yeah.
One immediately, like, kind of to your right, it's rushing towards you, and as you ride up, it kind of, like, stops for a second, and then the one that looks right up at you as it, like, tears something out of the side of this old man and looks up at you, just blood and stuff all over its face.
Does the horse have an attack, or is it just a thingy?
It's a riding horse. I'm not going to make you, like, make checks for it every turn, because war horses are trained for this. This thing is not. Instead of letting you have any attacks for it, I'll just let it be ridden, no issues. How's that?
I'll have Puke fly past this knoll and
Puke?
His name changes; it's very fluid.
Oh.
And peck at his ear,
Oh,
giving me
that
advantage
thing,
on my
yeah.
first hit against this guy, the actual mini. And I'm going to swing with my longsword.
The one that's the mini, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that, like, came running out of the hall there to have to stop in front of you. Go ahead.
15.
Just hits.
Ooh, thank you. Okay, 9 damage. And then I'm going to come down with my hand axe against it. Ooh, 7.
To hit?
Yeah.
Misses. So
Yeah.
you, having the advantage here, I mean, it's pretty tall, but you're sitting atop a horse. You just jab down through its armor. You can see it's got this, like, mismatched leather armor that it's, like, stretched across its body. You just straight through its shoulder, and then go for a swing with your hand axe and just right over its head as it kind of, like, ducks down.
That's me.
Okay, Edovard, Cephas. You arrive first, directly behind that knoll, straight back on the edge of the map right there. At the start of your turn, you are there. You have your movement and everything.
Fly?
And I see him.
What is your passive perception?
It's real high.
As you were riding, I'll say for the entirety of like that last turn that you were running, you were just running through smoke, having almost no visual, just 10 feet ahead of you. And then you saw a building straight ahead of you and like veered to the right as to not hit it, and you were running beside it. You can hear screaming and like battle straight ahead of you, but you cannot see it. But you have your movement. So once you get within 10 feet of that knoll, you'll be able to see it.
I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
And when I see it, then I'm going to... And I see Edovard, presumably.
Yeah, you can just see the horse Lucky and atop it, a silhouette of a rider.
Oh, then I'm going in for strike.
That first attack has advantage.
That's flanking too.
Yeah.
For that first attack, yeah, you got advantage.
You see my crow flying by its head, pulling its ear off.
I thought it was Raven.
It's a crow raven. It's a raven crow.
It's a 13.
To hit? Yeah. Okay. You roll with advantage? Yeah. Okay. So, just charging in, this huge sword, you go for a double-handed swing, and as you do, it hears you approaching, and you see it just kind of turn on its back foot just enough and bend backwards, and your sword just in front of it. Now it's kind of standing between you, looking at each of you. Its back is like hunched, and it's like an animal cornered as it just like yips and screeches and looks back and forth at the two of you. Stuck between two colossal opponents. One, like a rider on horseback. The other one, a 7-foot, 11-inch half giant.
We're better than this, Cephas. Come on.
Wow. Roaring flame.
Better than this, Cephas.
Whispering.
We're better than this.
As my...
That should have been.
and I'm going to cast Warding Bond on Edovard in front of me.
Okay.
Bless your heart.
Warding Bond.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want
Wait, are you using your bonus action to...
Channel Divinity this thing?
Okay, so what does that look like?
Well, I see the knoll on the ground. I see the knoll, and I notice that he is, like, charred a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the bandages and stuff on his body.
My cloak and stuff is charred, but I am back straight, head high.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, I'm just saying, I don't look, if you're doing it because you think, I don't
No,
look like
you don't
I'm on
look.
death's door.
I'm just. I noticed that
He's already seen some battle.
You've already
Yeah.
seen battle.
Yeah.
There's two knolls that I see, and I I'm thinking this. Perspective-wise, I just ran in here. I see two gnolls. You're on fire. I can't see anything behind you, but I hear screams and everything. It's like, oh shoot, they're everywhere.
Okay.
So
what's the warning bond look like, though? You hold up your holy symbol and what?
And I yell, Ilmater's glory! And then from that, you see the open hands, which is my symbol, that are that are bandaged. And then a light from it that is in the same field kind of comes, and the hands widen out and go in terms of light, and they just grabbing Edivar.
Okay.
And then they look like they just sort of absorb it.
Okay. As they do, this radiant light absorbs into you, and this hit your stomach. You feel like you're going to vomit. Don't.
Got that
There's a
dolly
moment.
zoom on Cephas. Just yeah.
There is a moment where
You're in the second.
the gnoll tearing into an old man was bad, but this makes you feel like you're going to throw up.
All attacks now have disadvantage for you.
No.
Nope. I don't think so.
You're blind.
All right, Cephas, that's the end of your turn.
You're paralyzed.
6 levels of exhaustion.
That was your action and bonus action and movement. Ghibli, your turn.
All right, then.
Standing at this door, trying to get in. It is not opening, but it is not locked.
So, again, I try to break it down.
Okay. Your action, athletics check, ramming into it.
That is 20.
Okay. I will say with a nat 20,
the other one?
No,
with a nat 20, I'll allow that to just expend your bonus action if you'd like.
that's perfect.
So with that, you stopped, nothing to run up to it. You just take one step back and kick the door as hard as you can. As you do it, just smashes inward. A whole stack of a stack of 2 chairs and this small end table dresser thing just go flying into the room as the door busts open. Ahead of you, you see the other side of the building on fire, completely burning. It seems like the rubble that builds up the walls and stuff. It's now rubble, I should say. It's caving inward. The roof is quickly catching. With your perception, you do not see anybody, but you do hear crying and screaming to the left.
I start heading here immediately. Just
Okay,
make my way
so
over.
running in, trying to do your best, running in here through the smoke. You take 3 steps in to the left, and as you do, you see immediately to your left now, there are 2 people. Put those against the wall. No, against the wall, right, within 5 feet of it. Yep, that one and that one. Yep.
One of them's
You
sit
see an
down.
older,
The first up there.
mid-50s woman sitting there. You see a child beside her as well. The child's probably 10 or 11. They're both clutched to the ground, kind of holding their knees, terrified as they look up at you. Both of them crying, sniffling as they look up at you and realize they have a chance to get out of here now. They had just they were just going to cry until they burned to death.
Jeez.
What are you doing?
So I reach out for a hand to
So
say and I tell them, I'm here to get you out. Come with me.
You've used 15 feet. You hold your hand out. I'll say on their turn they'll run with you, but you hold your hand out. Both of them, you help both of them up. They stand up and they kind of cling to each other. And the younger kid looks up at you. This little girl, 10 or 11, and she says, she doesn't say anything. She's crying, but she points to the other wall.
To the other wall. Okay. Gotcha. I will then. I look back at her, nod, and I'm going to dash to the other wall.
Okay, using your action to dash, rush as you get right there. You see so you don't have to dash yet. That was just your other 2 steps to get right there. You see against that wall 14 gnolls.
All
They're all
like
just
I am
piled up
legend just in the room.
It's a good thing I packed my signature bomb with me.
You see, that's brown. It doesn't matter. That's a gnoll. Put that right there. And it's got a pile of flesh in its hands that it's just tearing apart and eating.
Jeez, these kids were locked in the burning room.
Well, like a 55-year-old woman and a kid. Yeah.
These cool
At
kids.
first, I was
Same
like, why are
difference.
all these old people taking care of the kids? But all the
The
parents were
able-bodied-
drafted.
Yep.
Yes, able-bodied men and women were taken.
Golly.
Jeez. Just
But you still have your action.
looking at it, just pure rage. Just looking at this. No, I'm gonna. Do I have at least one more movement?
That was all your movement to get there, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So you could hold your action for it to get close to you, or you could throw your axe
I'm going to just throw my axe just right there, right on the spot.
straight at it. All right.
Straight at it. Whatchamacallit, that's a 7.
Okay. You just, like you said, full of rage. Your vision clouds, a little bit of smoke rushes straight in front of you, right? And you just chuck your axe as hard as you can, and it just past its head and buries itself into its mouth, this like full of teeth, dripping with blood. It looks at you and just screeches this yipping, like laughing sound straight at you, and it drops whatever's in its hands. It's gonna come running for you.
And I just just shout at it like, "Fight, you spineless coward!"
Okay. Ending your turn, as you now have the monster distracted, those two will run out the door, and they can get 5, 10, 15, 25. It's 25 feet for both of them to get to the door, and then they get out for 30. And they will dash and run another 30 feet this direction. So if they go off the map, they go off the map. But just see, and then the NPC there at the stairs will run 30 feet this way. Nobody's come out of that building yet. Somebody come out of that building. So that one will just get to the door on that building. Walks out the door, sees a horrifying monster. Can't go back in, has no movement.
Freedom.
All right, Hulk, you reach the same square that Cephas did, running up.
How far can I see with my 16 passive perception?
Okay, I'll give you 20 feet.
Booyah. Radical.
If you're 15 or higher in your passive perception, you can have 20. Anything
You
below
see
that
my
is
back,
10.
right?
Yeah. You see him. Oh, he's mid swing like this, and then you see him like holding his hand up, and radiant light shooting out of his hand.
I'm gonna start going forward. I see them crowding that one. This one, like,
It's holding just like a bit of flesh in its hand, and it looks like it's ready to engage in the fight as well.
I'm gonna go over and flank it.
Okay. That first attack can have advantage.
Flank the null.
Flank worked out well.
Ooh, 23.
Definitely hits. Worked out well for him as well.
Did you send?
Just a little bit better.
Ooh, almost max.
You can unsend.
12.
So you, what is this with your
And-
longsword?
Yes.
Okay. Slashing into its back, a long gash, blood comes pouring out of the back of this thing. It screams and yelps into the air.
And, in Draconic, Vith! Kill him! And
So Vith comes running from the same direction you were. Out of the dark, just jumping out and lunging towards this knoll.
and it's gonna make a bite attack. Oh, almost an so 24
Definitely hits.
and 6 piercing damage.
Okay. Just biting into the side of the leg of this creature and just shaking around on it. It is yelping, now in pain. Before it was like mad and it was enraged at what you had done. It was going to reciprocate. Now it's just yelping in pain as it's trying to get this dragon dog off of its leg.
And that's it.
Okay, ending Holik's turn. Now the gnolls. The gnoll with Edovard and Cephas will whip around to Cephas and take an attack against him. A 2. Misses.
Barely, but yeah.
Whips around with his spear, just lunges past you with it, totally missing. The one that is now that was just bit by Vith will go ahead and attack. Let's see who it attacks. It attacks Holik.
No.
And that is a 15, which
Miss.
misses. So with its spear, actually with its bite, it lunges forward and you like batter it away with the edge of your sword. The one by the fountain Let's see how its perception is. Does it notice the one? It does notice that NPC that came running out. It runs over to that NPC.
So cute.
Oh no.
It could miss. It does.
Yes.
So none of you see this, but I will tell you what happens. This mid-60s woman comes running out of the building, seeing this monster straight ahead. She's just overwhelmed with fear, starts to back up. As it turns, looks right at her, runs for her, and jumps. And in this mid-leap to go for a bite, and it's going to destroy her. She backs up and shuts the door in its face, and it crumples to the ground.
Brilliant.
Cartoonishly hits the door. Becomes flat.
So these two
Falls to the ground. Goes,
finally get the door open. They walk out. They see a smorgasbord right here.
oh.
They were pulling when they should have been pushing.
Yeah.
Store doors.
Actually,
I want to see a comic sketch of their adventure in this, like, 30
this
seconds.
one does not go out the door. It jumps through the flames unscathed.
Through the fire and the flames?
Through the fire and the flames.
Oh.
It just looking directly at Edovard, knowing that Edovard can't see him, but wishes that Edovard knew that it did it better. And it will rush up behind the horse, getting flanked on Edovard. This one will,
Meeny, miny, mo.
yeah, well, I'll get to that. The one that's going to flank Edovard
Don't flank me.
goes for a spear attack with advantage.
No.
Wow. 7 and a 3. I'm rolling really, really bad.
Lucky.
So, lunging with the spear, entirely overextending itself. You don't know it's there until you just see a spear from behind you, directly beside you, then go away. And you hear behind you, and you look and see this knoll just there that you did not know was there.
Lucky kicked back one of his legs.
Yeah. The other knoll that comes out the door will
To get your attention so you
decide
can move
for...
that. This one's close.
Well, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, it'll actually just run that way.
Oh,
It was
okay.
too scared to go through the flames. 3. So it goes to that guy. The one that it could see easiest. And it rushes forward.
Trapped in the
This,
corner.
like, mid-40s, kind of heavy-set guy that runs straight for him.
The most meat on his bones.
I roll real well on these guys. A lot of meat on this guy's bones. It lunges with a bite attack. It just eviscerates him. Like I said.
Another old man for the recycle pile.
That guy was like 42.
Oh.
Poor guy.
Wait, 42 but not taken into the military. Definitely in shape.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson.
He was the butcher.
Oh yeah, right. And the knoll with Ghibli. At the ready, Ghibli. You watch this thing enraged and laughing at you. Not only because it's the sound these things make. You just missed.
Yeah.
While 10 feet away, it cackles and laughs and rushes for you. So it's now within 5 feet of him, and it will...
Nice.
Oh, wait. I failed to do something. This guy dropped that creature to 0 hit points. It has an ability called Rampage. It can immediately use its bonus action, move to that, and make a bite attack.
Oh, it's like the orcs.
It missed.
Okay.
So it's just blinded by rage, and it just clatters against the side of the wall as this old lady is running as fast as she can, and its claws are just scratching into the wall.
It's the Tasmanian.
Okay, now that one rushes forward towards you, Ghibli, and it will make a spear attack. As it steps forward, it grabs the spear off its back, and it will jab down towards you.
It misses.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it misses with a 14.
So I'll then do a quick riposte.
Okay. So this is your third one or your second one, right?
Nice, dude.
Okay, so battering the spear that was already going to miss to the side
Yeah.
and lunging forward
That's a 16.
just hits.
And
Open
so,
him up.
And you get bonus damage. You're doing that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's how he did the 10
yeah.
attacks.
I want to make sure he didn't
That's
just roll his
16.
basic damage. So.
Nice.
16?
does that kill?
Make sure I'm listening to the right one here.
What's your superiority die right
Yes,
now?
that definitely kills him.
All right. So when it goes for a strike, I let it jab on the side, kick its knee to its side, putting him on one leg, and then I just stab it directly down his leg,
Okay.
downwards.
Making quick work of this thing, you do exactly that, and you watch it just slump to the ground, this yipping getting quieter and quieter until it dies. All right,
And,
that's
and
2
I get-
down for Ghibli.
Not just that, he's how many people has he saved? You keep
Ghibli has
track.
saved people and killed gnolls, and I have done neither.
Run in, hit the ground, hit some, run out.
I intimidated a
Hey,
horse
you
really
watch
well.
some people die.
And you've watched
That's
a bunch
true.
of people die and you
Yes.
saved 4.
Rough night tonight.
Okay. Is that your turn or do you want to run?
I mean, I'm 0 for 1 on
that was
Oh, that was
the
you're right, that wasn't even your turn. 16 damage is a reaction.
Dude, very, very
Okay.
cool.
Alright, so the other gnolls, that one attacked you, that one attacked Cephas, that one attacked you, that one went there and failed, and this
That
one went
one
right here.
Did the
There's
double.
one more.
Oh no.
Didn't know.
Well, they're slowly revealing themselves on the map here because there's other homes that they're ransacking right now. But hearing the commotion, one does come running, and we'll get
Dino.
there. All right, ending the Knoll's turn. Lumen, you get to the now flying. Get to that same square that everybody's been arriving in, between 2 buildings. Neither of them on fire, but straight ahead of you. What's your passive perception? 13. So you can see 10 feet ahead of you. Smoke is really, really bad, but you can hear commotion straight ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Did I notice anything flying?
How high are you flying?
Probably above the trees, just so I didn't have
Oh, well, there are no trees, so
to definitely above
you're
those.
definitely above them.
Man.
There's all these trees.
I just always assume there's trees.
I know, but I've been like, I say so often the area because
That it's just
open field. I even said on
prairies.
not a forest within 100 miles.
Is that Lumen? He's like a mile up.
I gotta get away from these redwoods. So we'll say you're 15 feet in the air right now. So you can grab one of those little dice, so we know that you're flying there under here.
So you can't see the
Just
ground.
remember that you're 15 feet in the air. So yeah, you don't see the ground, but you do see the 2 buildings on either side of you. You're at this, like, their ceiling height, or like above the ceilings actually, but more like the roof height with them.
Or is it fighting, I guess.
Okay, when you go 3 squares forward, you can see Cephas engaged in a fight with this disgusting bipedal hyena creature.
Is that the first thing I see is his head?
Cephas' head, 100%, his bald,
That is
shiny
awesome.
head.
It's just smoke and just...
And then home. Yeah,
That's
a
awesome.
runway. Those 2 tattoos.
That's so cool. Do I see anyone down?
Nope, you see Vith, the drake, like digging into the thigh of one of these creatures. You see another one that's like on the defensive with Cephas.
You probably see the man that's right there. Right?
Old man's just too far. I mean, even Vith is technically too far, but he sees Vith's tail mostly.
Okay.
Because the old man's on the other side of that red bead.
He's been on part of him's in the mouth of that hole.
This is true. He's behind you.
Could I yell out as a quick thing to say,
Sure.
is anyone down?
I'd say Cephas, you hear him pretty clearly. Edovard, you can barely hear him yell it.
There's one on the ground.
Okay.
That's what I yelled at.
Alright, what are you doing?
Just fly forward, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, flying in the square next to Cephas there, but 15 feet up, so like 8 feet above him, you do see like on the ground just this older man with a big chunk tore out of his shoulder and his neck, just lying there.
Can I get down to him?
No.
Yes.
If where I started saying
You
that
can
and I
get to
started
the ground.
flying down because if I knew it was in the ground.
I'll give you like 1 extra square of movement.
Well, I will then I'll say, hold on, old man.
He makes no reaction.
And then I'll
He's very calm.
toll the dead. These furry creatures. Ugly things.
You call them fairy creatures?
Furry.
Oh, furry. I
Wow.
thought you were making a
You're
claim
just-
that they were like you.
No.
You're making
not
fun
even
of his
close.
voice.
No. Furry.
Tisk,
One,
tisk.
which one?
Harry. The closest one to the old man.
Okay.
The
So the one
made
that Vith is attacking. Go for it. So so it rolled a 10. Wait, let me check its saves. Yeah, it rolled a 10. So it fails, right?
Yep.
And what it does extra damage if what? If it's
If it's below
If it's
max
already-
HP.
okay, yeah. So yeah, you deal a D12, right?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Small. It's almost a D20.
7.
Very nice.
You hold out this bit of clay, still in the form of Ilmater's symbol, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
And as you do, you guys hear this loud bell chime, and that gnoll there, just holding its head, screaming, falls to the ground dead.
Nice.
So you can remove that one. Okay, is that your turn?
that one.
Titus, you reach that same square now, running in. Your passive perception, you can see 10 feet ahead of you.
I'm gonna run in.
Where's Titus?
Titus.
Right there.
Sure,
Sorry, Titus.
do that. I'm gonna run in, and then I'll see that door.
Yeah, if you go 5, 10, yep, you see that door right there beside you.
I'll check it to see if anyone's inside.
Okay, the door opens, and as soon as you bust in, you can see most of what's in here because there's not a ton of smoke filling this yet. You do see in the back there is what looks like a little kid, like a little boy, probably like between 6 and 8 years old, kind of sitting there on the ground, just like shaking and not crying, but terrified, like petrified with fear. Wasn't able to run out.
Okay.
Yeah. And he looks up at you and get out of here, you monsters! I know you're gonna kill us!
So I'll go run out that way. It's safe.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Great charisma. 12.
12. Okay, he stops screaming, but still shaking.
And then
I have games.
I'll round the corner.
You like chess? Okay. So that's 20 feet. And you do see Holik and Vith trying to kill something that falls dead right in front of them. You see Lumen.
They seem to got that handled, so I'll keep
you get 10 more feet running that way. You don't quite see anything else here, but you do hear this loud straight ahead of you. It's what happened with that gnoll that hit the door.
Dash and get there.
Dash together, 5, 10, 15. Yep, you can get right behind it. And you see this gnoll that is like biting and smashing into this door, trying to get into it.
I've never seen anything like this before, right?
No. It's pretty safe to assume with you, everything is that way, but there's a few things in the world that you've seen. You've never seen a gnoll before.
Okay.
They're pretty exclusive to Eastern.
I am scared. Like, it freaks me out. I don't know what to do, and my shell begins to shake.
Okay.
And I grow. I become large.
Okay. Is that a bonus action? Yeah. So, as you run up behind this thing, shaking with fear, you become this large version of yourself. You double in size, 2.5 times as tall as you were. How tall are you typically? Like 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall?
4'10".
4'10". Okay, yeah. So now 8 feet tall, like 8.5 feet tall. You're taller than Cephas.
And I'm still scared of whatever that thing is, but
it looks over its shoulder at now this looming turtle.
I'm bolstered.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
That's my turn.
What the heck is that? I'd like to apologize.
Ending Titus's turn, Clonus. You now reach the same one of those 3 squares, whichever one you'd like.
I'm gonna run up to the door
Okay.
that Titus is
Go ahead.
running into.
You get to the door, looking in, you do see a kid in the corner.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run up.
He goes, you monsters! No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like this. He's racist. I know he's scary, but trust me. Get out of here. Go, go, go.
Okay. You can roll persuasion. Go for it. He has no idea how scary that turtle just got, though.
It's true. 16.
Okay. He,
Better than the scary turtle.
He kind of nods and starts to stand up.
And then I'm going to run underneath the lumen and seeing the commotion going on in front of me. Just kind of like run around it. They've got this. Let's go check the village.
So you can, with 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, you can get around. That's fine.
And I'm just gonna. Then I'm gonna use the dash action and head towards the fire. Very cool.
Because I can kind of see that.
Yeah, you can see the flames ahead through the smoke to a certain extent. So 5, 10. Okay, and as you get there, I'll say you do hear and see like the silhouette of this tall like monster to the left of you that is like just trying to stab Edovard on horseback. And then straight ahead, you can see the bright burning flame of that building. Do you have any bonus actions? Okay. Lower levels, it's not many people do, so that is fair. Ending your turn, Venora.
Could I
You reach one of those 3.
went in from one of the other sides, or is everybody just?
I'll say, like, if you started really far back, like separating yourself to know that you wanted to come in from the side, I'll let you start in that other, like, hall if you want. That's fine.
Also, real quick, with all the
Is that what you wanted?
and everything, I'm holding my breath.
You're holding your breath? Okay. You can hold your breath for a while, right?
An hour.
Yeah.
Not too long.
Sorry, go ahead.
How far can I see?
What's your bet? Oh, you have a 19, don't you?
No, 16.
You have a 15. So, unless you're... It says 15 on here, so... You can see 20 feet ahead of you through the smoke.
And I run forward, and then I see Titus fighting.
You see giant Titus. So if you run 10 feet forward, you can see Titus. So Byron, you want to move or that?
You think he's way closer, but then you look at the distance
Yeah,
between
for
you.
a moment. She only goes.
Yeah, she is.
So you run for it, and just there you see Titus now, this hulking figure looming over some terrifying creature. Well, you can't see the creature yet, but you see him just like he's glowing slightly from within his shell, and he just.
Okay, I'll run to the corner of that building, and then I think it's the
Yep. If you run to the corner of that building, you look around, you see what he is looking at. This disgusting, like, tall hyena creature, like 6.5 feet tall.
And I'll just toll the bit on the knoll that he's attacking.
Okay. So that one hasn't taken damage, so if it succeeds,
Pull the dead
it will
onto
be
that big Titus creature.
Yeah. Somebody's impersonating Titus.
Kill him with fire.
a 4.
A 4. Nice. That's a D8.
Wait.
Where is my...
Pretty much every time you've used Toll the Dead as Venora, either the thing has succeeded the save, or it's been immune to necrotic damage.
Yeah.
So this is a nice change of pace.
Thank you.
6?
Yes.
So yeah, Titus, you hear this bell ringing right ahead of you, and you watch as that hyena creature kind of clutches its head for a second, and looks around, and looks back at you now even more angry.
I didn't ring a bell.
Is that your turn?
And then can I move any more? Yes.
You can move more. You've only moved 15 feet.
I'll move like diagonally behind Titus.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
There?
Perfect.
All right. Kind of strafing around this combat here, you see this creature locked, its gaze locked right up now, looking like 2 feet above it at Titus's face. See what happens. Edovard.
Seeing that guy try to spear me from behind, I just
Bill.
That guy
I'm going to send him
speared
to the ranch.
I turn around on the horse and take a long sword swing at him, and I'll have my Crow Raven fly by and peck his eye out. Get advantage on the first attack. I'm gonna need it.
Is it a crow named Raven?
Ooh, it's a 12.
Misses.
I take a second attack with
Not
my...
used to being
On a horse.
cavalry here. You are just missing everything.
Ooh, 17 for the axe.
Okay. So this time, missing just over its head, you then, with an overhand swing, bury the axe into this knoll.
Max damage? 9.
Nice.
Nice.
to the knoll.
All right. So with that, you bury the axe into the back of this knoll.
That's it.
All right. Ending Edovard's turn, Cephas.
I'm gonna take another swing at this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna take another swing at this guy.
Yeah, roll here. Oh, sorry, I didn't. 10.
10 misses, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Edovard.
Is that a bonus action?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Are both of
What
your
does your
things-
Shield of Faith look like again?
It looks like
It works like that.
Ilmater's open hand.
Okay.
Like just
Intercepting or interposing between him and the enemy. You see.
like a stop. Like, no.
Jeez, dude. Rocking a 20 AC right now.
Okay, so this interposing hand between you and the enemy that is locked onto you, the one that you tried to swing at. The one that you tried to swing at, Cephas, is looking at you. It looks like it's going to focus on fighting you. But the other one now, this open, large, divine, open palm between you and the enemy. All right, ending Cephas' turn. Or are you going to move?
No, I'm staying.
Ghibli.
All right then. Just want to make it just a quick look for my axe. I don't want to expend my action. Just looking for it. I just want to make just a quick glance. Do I see my axe just laying around there?
You can see it. It's buried in the wall straight ahead of you.
Buried in the wall.
I described it. Went straight past it and buried into the wall behind where the gnoll was standing.
Gotcha. Just looking at the axe for a quick second. Just breathing heavily after killing that gnoll. The people are more. I just slowly turn around, walk out the door, and do I see that gnoll right there in the corner?
Yes, you do. So 5'10", Lex, you want to put him in that doorway? Immediately, you as you go back out into the not so fresh, smoky air, it hits you and it's stinging your eyes. And you look around to see what you can see, and directly to your right, you see a gnoll. That gnoll is running out, and as it runs, and you walk out the door, it looks at you, and it kind of skids to a stop. Looking right at you.
And kind of just a quick snap neck reaction, I look at the gnoll, and just out of instincts, I just go and charge right at it.
Okay, rushing forward, going for an attack. Go ahead and make it.
90-20.
Okay.
And it's going to be, and when I go and strike it, I rush at it, and with ash and dirt mixed together, I grab some of it, throw it right at his face, and then go for a distracting strike.
Okay, so as you're running, you drag your hand through the ash, splash it in its face, it stumbles, and as you just jam straight up into its chest. Go ahead and deal damage.
All right, then. So that's 21 piercing damage.
Okay. No 8s on that?
What was it? No 8s. Okay.
But 21.
5, 6, and 7.
So you do rush up, you distract it with this mix of ash and mud, straight in its face, and you grab its shoulder and straight up into its chest, pull the thing out, and as you do, it's still looking at you, ready for a strike.
And with the action surge, I go again. And that is, thank goodness, that's a freaking.
It looked like a 3.
No, it's a 19 plus 4, 23.
Okay, minimum damage will kill it.
All right then.
It had 1 hit point.
Can I roll your dice?
And then just a quick jab, pull out sword. I just stab it again.
Okay.
And I just stab it, just repeatedly.
It having no opportunity to do anything, running by, seeing you, thinking it's got lunch. It stops, and you rush forward, stab 3, 4, 5 times as it's just long dead.
I'm just staring down at it. It's like these gnolls. They've hurt so many innocent people. And I looked down that alley that it came from. Was there? Did it look like there were any more coming out that way?
Not the 10 feet you can see. You don't see any more.
So I then start walking to the house I didn't check earlier, the middle one.
You get to it, but you're not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the door is shut.
Yeah.
Okay.
NPCs.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll end my turn.
All right. The NPCs. Now that one
Poor guy in
behind
the
the door. She, hearing what's across from it, she will not open the door. She knows it's right outside.
She opens the door, sees me.
They're gonna keep running and hoping the thing is missing them. It's a 30-something-year-old lady and the older lady who's this one, the one that's not going to take the opportunity attack. So the one lady kind of pushing the older lady out of the way and yelling, "Run! Get out of here!" That Noel will take an opportunity attack.
Wait, can the 30-year-old take disengage?
Yeah, she can. So she disengages. She runs as she spurs the older lady on, which is good because the two of them running get off the field. And that gnoll just kind of it'll probably just ignore them at this point from how far away they get from it. And with that, the door right in front of you, Ghibli, busts open, and you see running out of it this 40-something-year-old lady just rushes past you, kind of pushes you out of her way, and she goes 5, 10, 15 feet straight out of that door. A 15, 16-year-old girl here comes running out and goes 15 feet diagonally out of the door. There
Gotcha.
Both of them just like, and the one looks at you for a brief second, just inside, there's a monster. She goes running up.
I just nod.
He will. He's getting 25 feet, so he gets to the door. And he looks out, seeing just this small army outside, and gets ready to run on his next turn. Actually, he can dash, so he comes out and then just goes 20 feet straight that way. All right, ending their turn, Hulk.
I'm going to run around. That one's getting pretty ganked. I'm going to go take the back of that one, and I see that guy over there as well.
Yep.
I'm going to attack this one that's just behind Edovard and get that flanking. 20 to hit.
Okay, hits.
And as my sword is like just before it makes contact, Vith will use its reaction and spit this little piece of ice that connects with my blade, and my blade just gets ice throws across it as it hits.
Okay,
And
so
deals-
these like jagged spikes of ice along the side of your blade tear into it.
9 piercing or slashing and 3 ice.
Nice.
Another 12.
Raking through its back, tearing chunks of it out. It screeches and squeals as it whips around now looking at you, barely holding on.
And I'm gonna tell Vith.
It's alive just so that Ghibli can get the last hit on it.
Exactly.
Actually, Ghibli's killed all of them on his own. He doesn't need last hits.
In Draconic, Vith, block the one in the alley behind me.
So rushing past you, this Drake runs past you. See, Clonus, you see just bounding past this ice Drake after spitting ice out of its mouth. It runs up to something that is out of your vision slightly, but
21 to hit.
yep.
And 7 piercing damage.
Okay. All right, biting into its leg. There's this loud yipping and screeching. Is it your turn?
Yeah.
All right, now the Gnolls. So the Gnoll, we'll start with this one down here. It goes 20 feet straight towards Titus. With disadvantage, it is going to take a bow shot at Clonus.
No.
I mean, he's larger now. Does that take away from
Clonus?
Clonus? Nice. Or, Clonus.
And
My
he
bad.
misses.
Sick.
I'm in it.
A 6 and a 5. You don't see where this is coming from, but an arrow in the ground straight ahead of you. I mean, you know where it's coming from. It came to the right of you, but you just didn't know there was a thing there.
Yeah.
And then the one backed up against the wall in front of Titus just... It pulls its spear out and it's going to jam it towards you. Okay. Where are you? Yeah, it misses. I forget you have a flat 19. With a 14, it just king into your shell, pulls the spear back, looks up at you. It'll turn and it will run 30 feet straight this way.
Opportunity attack.
Yes.
Yep. I miss. And you, not really knowing what you're doing, this huge forming crash this huge morning star into the door ahead of you, and you watch just parts of it splinter and chip off.
And you hear screaming from inside.
Careful with the houses,
those
Titus.
two. The one between Cephas and Edovard turns back, or is locked still on Cephas, and will, with its spear again, try and attack you. A natural 20.
Woo!
That's rough.
I'm 0-1 against him, so it's only fair.
Okay, one of those explodes. Okay, wait. Plus what? Plus 2. Okay. It jams the spear just as you're trying to bash the spear away with your sword, and it kind of like wraps around it for a second, then up into your stomach slightly for 10 piercing damage.
I shrugged 5 mil.
Okay, and you just tighten your abdomen and kind of... There's 10 piercing. So there's that one, and then the one now behind Edovard will attack Hulk. Nope. Let's see who it attacks. You just like destroyed its back. Yeah, it swings around to attack you.
Okay.
I believe it hits with an 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. 18. Actually, it's 17, but it still hits.
You know, if I had that Shield of Faith, wouldn't have hit.
So it whips around, enraged. It goes to jab you with this spear. It's pretty decent. 8 damage, 8 piercing. As it just barely slices past your thigh, cutting into you. And then the one with your Drake, let's see if it cares about the Drake. Or if it goes, it does not. It goes for the advantage. So it rushes past the Drake, provoking opportunity attack, but it will get advantage on you.
Does a 13 hit?
Nope.
Dang.
So put the red dot there behind Holik. With advantage, it will go for an attack against you, Holik, with its spear. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And a 4 damage. As it just barely nicks almost the same spot in your leg. Okay. Giblet, you cannot see in that building quite yet. You can barely kind of see like a little bit while the door is ajar there. But you hear this loud flame roaring as you hear then a loud break of glass, and you see all over the doorway in front of you fire erupt. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
We're fighters. We're good.
Yeah. 16.
16, okay, you'll take half damage. Okay, so 8 half to 4, so 4 fire damages. Fire roars out of the doorway as this bottle explodes and flames come shooting out of the explosion. So there is now a fire burning on the wood floor there.
And that's
okay.
Okay.
That's just inside the building there. All right, ending the Knoll's turn. Lumen, now it's your turn.
I'll make my way down to the old man.
Okay, so he's in the square just beside the horse there. So go ahead and put Lumen on the ground on this right.
Yeah, you're
back
just past him.
There you go. Now you're looking down at him right there. It's on the ground directly in front of you. You see just the corpse of this old man on the ground, this large chunk of flesh torn out of his chest and his shoulder, just lying there, blood filling the area around him.
Put my hands on him. Spare the dying,
Okay?
old man.
You hold your hands out to him. You see this green energy just kind of flood into his body and out into the ground around him. He still lies there the same.
Do I know if that works?
It seems he's too far now. Spare the dying stopped saving death saves. There were no death saves necessary for him. He had 2 hit points to begin with, and he took 6 damage, so...
So he's okay, or
What does that mean?
That means he's very dead.
Call a taxi and get him to the hospital.
Not
Yeah,
a
these
doctor.
Old and elderly children.
The old elderly ones
The elderly
have
children.
either 3 or 2 hit points, and the other ones have a little bit more, but...
It's rough being a common person.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys are level 1, you're 10 or below in most cases.
That's all I can do.
Okay. So you do now know, though, you see just blood kind of like bubbling up out of the wound. He is entirely gray in the face. He is dead.
I put his hands together.
Okay.
I kind of try to put him like, maybe like the hands.
Like Ilmater?
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of like putting his hands over his chest and kind of like binding the thumbs slightly.
Yeah.
All right. Ending
he's
Lumen's
suffering.
turn. Titus.
I chased the one that ran from me.
Okay. This monster running behind him. He like looks over, yelping, and keeps running.
I attack it.
Go for it.
24.
Hits.
You did it.
15 damage.
That one hasn't been dealt any damage yet.
That
but-
one took 7 from...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
took Fenora.
Well, you're right. Where did I write it? Oh, it's this one right here. You had 15 exactly left.
Woo!
Hey!
So you clobber it with this morning star. It just goes off to the side.
And then I see that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll action surge.
Okay, and you have some movement left, so you can get within range. Right there.
Smack
That was your
one, too.
last step.
Okay.
Do I maybe like frighten it after it seeing this large creature?
It's pretty scared.
Would I get advantage?
No.
Gotta try. Gotta
You
try.
added.
22.
Definitely hits.
Just pulverizes.
12.
Well, cracking him in the chest, you hear this like crunch. It's like
Left.
through that.
I admire the spirit.
Yeah.
My lungs are caved in.
Don't smoke.
And
Don't smoke.
that
Bill, is that
will
you?
end my turn.
All right, ending time. Yeah. Bill has been reborn. Clonus.
Clonus is going to run up to this knoll between Navar and
Okay.
going to swing an attack.
Go for it.
What is his spot here? That's number 8. Is it 8?
Roll in there. Roll in there. All right.
Yeah.
So an 8 misses as you this wide swing. It barely dodges it. Any bonus actions or anything you want to try?
My bad.
It just kind of like looks at you for a second. This long tongue hanging out of its mouth. All right, ending Colonus. Unless you want to move back.
Nope.
Okay, ending Colonus' turn. Venora,
Which direction did we run from? North, south, east?
west from the west
From the
towards the east.
Okay. So if I can make it to the door, look in, and I just see that.
You see a lady kind of like up against the wall, and she's just kind of she's terrified, but she's not like screaming or crying. She sees you, and a big smile across her face. Hi.
Hi! The path is clear to the west. There's a wagon about. How far were we?
Like you said,
Half
eight
mile.
Quarter, like an eighth of a
Eighth
mile.
mile.
So
Just a little ways up the road. Run that way. If you see anybody else, lead them that direction. So can I? If I move 15, can I see that? No.
Yeah, you can.
you can see that knoll
20
there.
and a half. Okay, then I don't have anything. Oh, yes I do. Okay, then I will. I'll toll the dead out of him again.
Toll the dead.
Or dead.
And he's already taken a little
So
bit.
yeah, toll the dead.
Yes, toll the dead.
Wizzy save.
Natural 20.
Okay.
For a 20.
420.
For a 20.
Oh.
Not 420.
Oh gosh.
That is my turn.
Sorry.
Nope, you're all good.
Terrified of this creature in front of it, but looking right at you, hearing this bell.
He's
Nothing
got
out of the
bigger
ordinary.
things on his mind.
Death isn't mine.
All right.
I love the
Edivard.
Do I proc new flank from
If you were to go around,
You go around.
you? Or did you already use
No,
that?
for
I
bonus.
used it.
Yeah.
but you would provoke opportunity from the
Yeah,
other.
I know.
And
Okay.
you do just that.
I do just that.
I do it just saw.
Lumen
Well,
also
you just
gets to
rolled a 20, and now you rolled.
Yeah,
misses.
you've got to beat 20.
Oh, you have a 20 AC?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that misses.
Then
Lumen, you also can take an opportunity attack on Edivard if you
Oh,
want.
get it straight.
I'm gonna
I was
attack
like, wait,
that
I can
guy
move?
with the long sword with advantage. Come on, man. 12.
Misses.
Okay.
Oof.
I'm gonna use an axe. Less.
Misses. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Oh, I have my crow fly by on the
It's because
second
you chose
attack.
to give yourself advantage from Clonus. He passed his roll.
Yeah, can my crow fly by on the second attack to give advantage?
Oh,
The help action?
sure.
I would have had him do it anyway.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, that hits.
That actually,
6 damage.
Okay.
that's the one I iced.
Yeah, that one's dead.
Dude, you iced
Ice. Edivard got a kill.
Yay.
How do you kill it?
Divide its head by axe.
Okay, so just a quick, like, splitting a pumpkin. Dead.
Topical.
That
Not
is
almost
my And
Rushing
I
that
just
way, you see two people like running. Now they're splitting to run past you.
point westward.
Head west.
Okay. Now you can feel as though you have saved Sun. Woo! You have sent them the right direction because they were going to run that way. Cephas.
Can't you touch this?
My death.
I feel like I might get cursed if I do.
Do it, Dave.
Do it.
I would have done it.
You've been rolling so
Sword
well.
versus
You've been
finish.
rolling so well. Not over there, right here. Yes, it's an 18, David.
Let's see how David's next roll goes.
Yes.
Guy. Touch those two. It's right there.
Are you smiting him? Oh no, it's 2d6.
That's
never mind.
pretty good.
So I do 13 damage.
You kill him.
Not bad.
Yes!
How do you do it?
So I'm just swinging my greatsword high above my head, and he lifts his spear up to block it, but it just splits it down the middle and severs halfway through his neck and just crumples
To the ground. Okay.
May you suffer not.
And your turn?
You
got movement.
I got movement, yeah. So I'm gonna actually, I'm looking for a door to this building. I didn't see one around here, so I'm gonna. And
Still can't
I
see the
I probably see the stairs though.
You see the stairs there.
Okay.
Okay. Ending your turn?
Yeah.
Ghibli.
All right then. So the flaming door, I go in front of it, and I try to look inside the house to see if the flames just around the door or just everywhere inside the
It's
house.
just those two squares right there, just burning. It's going to start spreading soon,
Mhm.
but it is just burning right there.
Is there are there any windows at all? From what I saw from the side of the house and then go to the front.
I will say there's a window like where that knoll was on the side of the house.
The side of the house. Okay.
It's kind of high for you, but you can try and reach it if you'd like.
Like about how high? What was it?
It's probably like 7 feet in the air from the outside.
I think
Actually, no. It'd be more like 5 feet up in the air. So for you, I mean, you're like 4 foot something, right?
I'm actually just 5 feet.
Just 5 foot. Yes, you have to reach up and pull yourself into it, and you'd have to break the window. Actually, these homes would not have glass windows. What I'm talking about, these are like hovels. So it's just an open. It's like an opening. So if you want, you can make an athletics check to try and climb in, and it'll just be part of your movement if you succeed or not.
I think I'm just gonna go right to the flaming door and just barge in, just take the burn.
Okay, go ahead and you can either make a Constitution check or a Dexterity check.
I'll make Constitution.
All right. So he takes 1 step towards the door, and then Lexi, will you put him 2 steps into the door? So that's 15 feet. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's a 17.
17. Okay, you'll take half damage.
Okay.
So you take 3 fire damage as you just charge through it real fast, and a bit of like flaming tar like falls from the doorway onto you as you run through it, but you just kind of brush it off as best as possible. You stand in there. Smoke is filling the room already, but you can barely see at the end of the room there. Is there a Gnoll mini somewhere? Will you put this in the end of that room? You see a Gnoll standing there with his spear looking right at you, like licking his teeth. There's blood all over his teeth. Yeah, that's fine.
All right then. And then I start making my steps towards him.
Okay, so you got 2 more steps. Lexi, will you move him 2 squares towards the Gnoll? Okay.
And would there be like any like bottle stills like hanging around there?
This is a home. He threw a Molotov cocktail he brought. He didn't like grab one from in here.
Or any like empty glass bottles or anything like that?
Roll a D100. You're asking for a very specific item that just happened to be on
There's
the
a
floor right in front
1%
of you.
chance.
54.
Before? No.
All right then. Stools.
David, there's nothing on the floor right in front of you.
Okay.
Or else I would have said something else.
The fire is consumed.
Let's run through a list of 100 different things. Now, is this thing here?
All right then. So,
I'm 53rd
All right,
item on
then.
that list.
and then I just have my sword ready with just a dead stare into his eyes,
Okay.
just telling him to wording it.
That was he almost did. I think it would have landed better if Byron hadn't moved. Like it didn't need to.
That was
He didn't need to. That was amazing. For the audio listener, Lexi's across the table from Byron, like fully the other side. Byron just opened his mouth. What did you throw?
Sour Patch.
A Sour Patch Kid directly into his mouth. Just a
And
beautiful throw.
he's also like 3 feet away from the table
That
as
was
well.
incredible.
Like
It was a
all
beautiful
the way
arch.
away.
All things there. Beautiful. I loved it. And I
You want
just...
to ready your action?
Yes, I will. Actually, no. I'm just going to
End your turn?
just hold my sword out, tell him to bring it.
Okay. You can do that and ready your actions when he gets closer, you attack him. Or you just want to end your turn? That's what I was giving you the opportunity to do, and you said no. So you can just end your turn if you want.
Actually, yes, I will ready an action
Okay.
when he does strike. Yes.
Sounds good. So ready an attack for when he steps within range.
NPCs.
Actually,
The little people.
Oh, that's fine.
I will not. I
You
just
just want to end your turn?
I will just end my turn.
Okay, sounds good. With that, let's do that one. She runs out of the door, and then she's got 15 feet. She'll just run that way, and then she'll go another 30 to get off the map. Perfect. And then those two turn and run. They're not going to go towards that fire, but they're going to run past Cephas. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then down. So that one will get off the map. This one will have 10 feet left before it gets off the map. But Cephas, you see... Lexi, you want to help? Cephas, you will see 2 women run right past you. Yeah. Those 2. They go off...
So I get an attack of opportunity.
If you would like. Vith sees as the door right beside him opens up, and right there stands... here, you want to hold it? Right there. Stands a man, like, in his 70s, or in his 60s, excuse me, just kind of like right there, looks down at the dragon, and he'll just take a club to the dragon. He has no idea.
Bonk.
I'm sorry, but he has no idea that this monster isn't there to kill him. That's a 16 to hit.
That's right on the money.
Beth is
Oh,
like,
village
that was
man.
quite rude.
Yeah.
5 bludgeoning damage.
Dang, village man.
Wow.
Got it.
He rolled a 5 with no modifier on his strength,
Dang.
and he rolled a 15 plus 1 to hit. Wham! With a club. Viv just, get out of our town, vile monsters!
What?
And then he just stands there, ready to defend his town from these vile monsters. And then I believe, who else is left as far as NPCs? Nobody else on the map, right? Okay. Perfect. Ending their turn, Hulk.
I will turn.
I will.
End your turn.
You wish. Attack.
Okay.
24 to hit.
Okay.
And,
This is the one that Vith had attacked, so it's taking a little bit of damage.
yeah. 6 slashing.
Okay. So just slashing across his left arm, squeals in pain.
And in common, I'm just gonna say, Vith, don't bother the old man, kill this thing. And in Draconic, attack this.
Okay. Vith just kind of like
To
shakes his head
for
and
the
turns
old
around.
man's sake. That I said that in common, and then in Draconic for my
Okay.
actual dragon, so we wouldn't take an opportunity.
Ah!
Hopefully.
I apologize for that one.
And
Egg on my face.
Vith would take.
And salt.
Oh yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll go for the flank.
Okay. I'll go for the flank.
Didn't need it. Both of them were great.
Well, aren't you glad you wasted that for somebody else?
Yep, 23
23?
to hit.
Yep.
And another 7 piercing damage. Vith has done like more damage in this fight
Vith
than
is on
Rolo
13.
ever did.
Vith is on 13,
No, I'm just
but
I'm kidding. But he's hit as many times.
in
as
Rolo's first combat, certainly more. Okay, yeah, just digging his teeth into the back, like the hind leg of this thing, the hind of its leg. It's just like it is not love and life. It's very hurt. Ending your turns.
Yep.
All right, that same Gnoll will see if it attacks you or if it attacks it. Ooh. It attacks you.
Oh. Trying to psych him out. Didn't work.
Oh, 21. And 9 damage as he just holds his spear in 2 hands and jams it for you. You do your best to parry it, but you can't as it just digs into your thigh. With that, we got left the one with Titus.
And the one with Ghibli.
Yep. That one with Titus will go ahead and... Okay. It will strafe around Titus until it is now between Titus and Venora. Wow, idiot.
Yep.
It'll go one more. Okay. And then it will spin around and attack Venora.
Hey.
Leave 17 hits.
Rude.
Rude. With its spear, 10 damage. As it just slashes across your thigh, tearing a part of your skirt.
Now,
And
now
then-
Does it end its turn?
Yeah.
You'll see a glow on my morning star where one of those runes is etched in. It has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
14.
Succeeds.
Sorry.
You're good.
The gnoll
in a
with
shell.
Ghibli steps forward and, in a quick movement as it does, it grabs the spear off its back and jabs straight down towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Misses.
And so,
I need to hit for 2 reasons: to hit and to
And
not get
to-
reposted.
all right then. 18.
This should
18
be.
hits.
I think this is like the last one.
Ghibli is the main character in this.
Yes.
Ghibli's done a lot of work in this one.
Maybe you should lead us.
All right then. Oh, okay. That's a whatchamacallit? 8 then. Okay, that's a 15.
Okay.
We're just Ghibli groupies as he goes along to his.
You kind of are.
We are.
Following him in his duels.
We're your biggest fans.
Okay.
Like
It was 15 damage?
Yeah.
It steps forward, misses with its spear. You bat the spear to the side.
Does it die?
Immediately slashes across
No.
its thighs.
Is this guy taking
Okay.
damage?
No, it doesn't die. 15 hasn't killed any of them.
That's our
Um,
group's name.
This one burned itself before throwing
Ghibli
it, so it
Scroopies.
just dies. That'd be amazing. It does step forward, though, Lexi. And then it will...
What will it do?
That's all it can do.
Oh.
It'll end its turn. Lumen.
Loman.
Lomain.
Lumen.
Lame.
I'm gonna fly towards the fire because.
Because you're a moth?
Because I'm a moth.
You see, I
don't see.
The one that's like closest to you?
Yeah.
Okay, you fly towards it, you go into it?
Oh. No.
Okay.
I
You-
resist. Oh,
If you get that close, you will have to make
that's
a...
a little close.
Okay, step back.
I'm not looking
If
to
you
Druid
start your
craft.
turn or enter within 5... Okay.
I'm gonna try to snuff out the fire. I mean, it's a little big, but I'm gonna try to snuff out some of it.
Okay. With Druidcraft, I'll say 1 square of it, you start to move it to the side and clear the flames. That'll take some time. Is that an action? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it'll take some time to do the whole thing, but you can slowly do this. As long as that fire doesn't explosively expand quickly, we'll see if the amount that you are putting out is less than it's spreading. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll a wisdom check for me.
You're pretty wise.
What are you, a wise guy? Now see here.
Saving throw?
Just a check.
Oh.
Wisdom modifier, so plus 3, actually. Or is it
Oh, no, sorry, 3. Yeah. 16 plus 6.
So 19. Okay, you carefully are pushing back the flames as much as you can. So, Byron or somebody, you want to erase the V of those 3 flames right there? Yeah, like what people were jumping through. Perfect. So that little 3 section of flames, those three squares of flames. Yep. So you are now pushing it back. I'm going to say dedicating your whole turn trying to push back this fire with Druidcraft. You rolled very well. You're pushing it back now. All right, ending Lumen's turn. Titus.
Kind of look at the situation we're in, and I'll just walk behind it.
Okay. Take 2 steps. There you go.
1 step this time.
2 steps this time.
Get him.
Bow, bow.
23.
Hits.
12.
You kill it. How do you want to do it?
Yes.
Nice.
So I'm behind it. I raise the Morning Star, and I literally just come squash it down in my childlike, but still deep because I've been like, ah!
Oh my gosh, that's horrifying.
And the Morning Star, because everything magically grows to accompany me, smashes down on it, and when it hits the ground, all that's out of its limbs.
Okay. All right. Ending your turn?
There's a hole around the shape of the knoll.
Yep.
All right, ending Titus's turn, putting in work. Clonus.
No.
You say a knoll hole?
It's a knoll hole.
That's amazing. It's your turn.
My turn?
It's your turn, knoll hole.
I'm gonna go try to swing at the knoll that I can see.
Okay, taking a couple steps forward. Go for it.
Please, Lord, have mercy on me.
I did touch it.
And
I don't think you need it, David.
I don't need David. 20.
20 hits.
5.
5 damage. Running forward and slashing across its legs. It is hurting. It is barely holding on.
Can I make that define smite?
Sure, you can pump a spell slot into that.
Okay.
So it's an extra, 2d8s, right? It's
Yeah,
a first
2d8s.
level smite?
Nice. 7.
Okay, that would have killed it then. So how do you want to kill it?
Well, seeing its legs are chopped here,
Mhm.
we're getting some slashes from the other side. I'm just gonna go like whoop, try to like hit between the middle, and just
Okay, so like it's getting from one side on the top, from the other side on the bottom?
and then just like rip it into.
Yeah. Seeing resistance on either side on the top and bottom, you just cut straight through it. It bisects it and falls to the ground.
Kind of like a pineapple when you throw it in the air and you cut it with like a really sharp.
You fruit ninja the knoll.
Fruit ninja, yeah. Fruit
All right.
ninja the knoll.
Into the knoll. Into the knoll.
You can take that knoll off the map. That one is dead.
5 styles.
Clonus has got himself on the kill board.
Venora, unless you want to move anymore.
Kill.
I don't know where to move.
Okay.
Actually, I want to move away from that fire.
Okay. Actually, yeah, you did step towards it, and you're within 5 feet, and so did Vith. So, because you did step within 5 feet of it, actually, you didn't need to hit it. You could have from where you were.
Yeah,
So there you go. Yeah. But Vith does need to make a Constitution save.
She's 21.
Is she a girl?
Oh, he. I'm sorry.
Can't believe you'd say that.
20.
2 fire.
I'm used to Rolo.
I'm used to Rolo.
This one.
It's everything in me to not say she as well, because you've always had a little girl.
I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go.
All right.
Oh boy.
I didn't mean it that way.
Wait, so
So I'm gonna run towards where the arrow was shot at me.
Okay. Running that direction.
That would end my turn.
Venora.
I can see 20 first.
The thing beside you, by the way, is a fountain.
Okay.
I thought it was
It's
the
just
elder
trickling.
Like, I'm going to run towards the building in front of us.
Okay.
As I
which
pass by,
one?
thank you, Titus.
This
You're my
one?
hero.
Butcher? This
Yes.
one? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I can make it, so I'll have to dash.
You can see the door right there. Are you going to go in?
Yeah.
Okay. Opening it. Looking inside. There's the smoke hasn't really filled this building yet. You look around. You don't see anybody in here.
Look around the corner. Nobody's in here.
Look around the corner. Nobody's in here.
Cool,
The
cool.
guy that was in here ran out.
Cool. I will. How much more
About like
movements do I have? I'll
15
just run towards the mayhem in the middle.
Okay.
Perfect.
You can barely see the silhouette of Clonus running straight ahead.
Go.
Alrighty. Edward. On your steed, Lucky, the lightning horse.
Lucky the lightning horse.
Can I yell to Clonus? Just, we're clear over here.
Okay. So you're running that direction. You hear her yell that.
If I hear, could I hear that?
Yeah, you hear that.
Can I use my reaction to respond?
That's fine.
We're clear in the middle as well.
I will go here.
Okay. You see a door to another building. It's the second door of that same building. Are you opening it? Okay. Opening the door, looking inside. This looks like a little home area. You see like a bed in the corner over to the side. There's like some a table and chairs and nightstand and stuff like that. You do not see anybody in here.
I hear anybody.
You hear the man in the in the room over there. Like the wall is like bisecting the whole building like that. You hear him like, "I'm sorry, egg on my face."
I went to the wrong side. He's gonna die because of me. Then I just leave, and I'm about to get back on the horse.
Oh, I guess you didn't see that interaction with him, so you just think he's in a room behind someone. He's just the way he's asking for help is egg on my face.
This language is.
Egg on my face. I built this wall during the mayhem.
I'll begin getting back on the horse.
Okay.
Fortnighted and closed himself in.
All right, Cephas.
I'm gonna run. Well, I'm gonna get in this room here.
Okay. When you walk in, smoke hasn't filled this room entirely yet. To the left, you do see two children in the corner of the room.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Sorry, Lexi, I didn't see you.
In my softest voice I can. Come, little ones. It's safe out here. I'll get you to safety.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a charisma check for me. Or a persuasion check.
Nat
24.
Yes.
So 24.
For the listener, he had David grace it again with his touch. They both just, yes, sir. And they stand up. It's a little girl and a little boy. They both stand up. They look close, probably the same age. And as they do, they kind of start to run forward towards you. How much movement do you use? 5, 10, 15, 20?
I mean, I could dash to them.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. Seeing that they trust me, I'll.
They run as
use
you
my
run
movement
up.
just
They
to
run up
join
to you
them.
as well. They like jump into your arms.
Yeah.
Okay, so you lift them both up to your shoulders. Okay, so two kids like this.
And they're scraping their heads on the ceiling.
Yeah.
You knock them out.
It's 2 gnolls in a
No,
leather
they
suit.
look like they're probably like 4 or 5.
2 gnolls in a jacket.
Okay, ending Cephas' turn. Ghibli, you and the Gnoll.
All right. I then make another attack on the Gnoll.
Okay.
9.
9. The Gnoll just grinning, looking at you, just dodges to the side as your rapier just past its head.
All right, enter.
Okay. Finally, a miss. NPCs. Those kids jump up on your shoulders. One of them kind of like is holding onto your ear, and the other one's like holding its hand, or its whole arm like around your head, kind of covering your eyes slightly. Where are we going, mister? And then the other NPC, is there anybody?
The old man.
Or the older man in the
As
tavern?
I'm yelling that it's all clear and he's coming out of the building, I'm just going to point west where we've cleared it out.
He sees the flame and goes, "Oh, I think I'll stay inside." And he shuts the door.
All right.
Can the children use Cephas as an out, so his movement?
Actually, you know what? He wouldn't do that. He does step out within, not within 5 feet of that flame yet, but does step out. He sees you. What are you saying to him? Sorry?
As I'm saying, we're all clear in the center. I'm going to point with like my whole body towards the west.
Okay, he runs past you. You see, I have a physical description for this guy specifically, actually, so I will use it.
Oh,
My name is John Mayer.
My name is John Mayer.
I'm Mr. Interesting PC.
I'm
NPC.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. He's not in his 60s. He looks like he's in his late 40s, early 50s. He stands there just kind of with this club in his hand, and you see like a little basket of like stuff in it, like food and clothes and things like that. As he carries it out, you're pretty perceptive. Most of the clothes and stuff, they look like they don't look like they would fit him. They look like children's clothes. And he's holding them, and he comes rushing out of the room, and he runs past you. That's 5, 10 feet. Is that 30 feet?
Dude, that's 30.
Okay, so he'll go another 30. Thank you, each of you. And he keeps going.
There was an NPC there.
Yep, sounds good. And that should be all of them.
I think that's all the buildings.
It's been every building that's had some in it has now been figured out. All right, ending their turn. Holik, it's you.
After he goes and he says that, I'm gonna drop to a knee and healing hands myself.
Okay.
because
Is that an action or a bonus action?
It's an action. I have been hurt.
Yeah, I figured you were pretty close to down, if not already.
Yeah, I was at 2.
I tried.
Heal myself a little bit, and I'm gonna make my way over there. I'm gonna shout out,
Ghibli, you good? You can see ahead. The door there is just engulfed in flame. Where you didn't see him jump in there, but you know he was in this area somewhere. But this fire was not here when you got here.
All
He's
right.
there now.
Bonus action. Vith, check out that building. And then
never
he's
mind.
gonna dash.
Okay.
Are you gonna have him jump through the flames? Okay, have him make either dexterity or constitution check.
Dex. 20.
He can go all the way.
He's got
in and
40.
then He's got
Oh,
40.
40, okay.
What was it? 20.
20.
He takes half damage.
He's gonna try and give Ghibli flanking.
Does he have enough to get all the way there? He was 5, 10, 15,
He was
20, 25, 30,
10
35.
past-
He can get directly behind it. He can
Okay.
actually get one behind it right there.
Yeah.
All right, so he runs in,
How much
jumps 0. He jumps through the flames perfectly, like spins around, dodging flames and pitch and tar that's falling, and then he lands on the ground. Ghibli, you hear this thud and a growl right behind you. Not taking your eyes off your enemy, you watch it quickly, like a snake, like slither through the room on the 4 legs, and then behind it. You now have advantage on this creature for your next attack, unless it attack. Well, it uses attack or his action, so you get no attack. All right.
But if he
It
misses...
was on your turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's the enemy.
Now it's
So
the
if
enemy.
he misses, you get advantage on that riposte. If you have a riposte left.
This creature, seeing that it's surrounded, not hearing the cackles and howls of its friends, it will. Yeah. It will take the disengage action, and it turns, and the window in the back of the room, it runs straight forward and jumps out the window. There's no glass in these windows. And then it just keeps running, so it's 20 feet after being outside the room, 20 feet that direction, which doesn't mean it's like gone. You'll be able to see it if you go that way, but I just don't have room on the map, so you can take that knoll off the map. All right, Lumen.
More Druidcraft.
Okay, make another wisdom check if you'd like.
11.
11? Okay, another square of flame gone. You are beating this flame faster than it can go, but just barely. But you're like holding flame back from you. It's trying to, with the wind, go towards you, and you're barely just holding it back. Okay, is that in your turn?
Yep.
Titus.
I'll just dash over to everyone else.
Okay. Clonus.
Titus, where's your bucket? We can put out the flames.
The bucket.
Okay, that's not wrong.
There's a fountain you just passed.
Yeah, you did just jump over a fountain.
Oh, that's sick. I'll turn around for that.
Did you go to the fountain?
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't need to dash to get there. Do you want to use your bucket?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking the bucket out.
Has it
Or
grown?
intelligence check.
Has it grown to size with me?
Does all of your gear grow with you?
All
Yeah.
items.
Yeah.
on you.
Okay. Sure.
Nice.
10.
Okay. Just enough. Trying to remember how the contraption works. It's in a bunch of pieces. You unclip it and just like got this bucket, and it's sealed as best you can, as tight as you can, and it's twice the size now. So it's basically like a laundry basket.
That's amazing.
You want to grab some
Fill
water
with
with
water,
it?
yeah.
Okay, so this is a trickling fountain, and there's a little pool. So you're not going to anywhere near fill this massive bucket, but you run it through the water a few times, and you've got like 4 inches of water at the bottom, maybe 6 inches of water at the bottom of it. And you used 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You used 30 feet to get there. So that's the end of your movement. I will say that like the getting the bucket out and fishing for water, that was an action. But you have this huge bucket of water now.
Sick.
It's like 2 or 3 buckets worth if they were normal size. Okay, ending Titus's turn. Now it's Clonus' turn.
Clonus walks over to Titus. Here, quick. ask for the bucket. It's like my size.
You want to get to him?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, you do need to make a strength check.
I should have rolled.
I was like, wait. Oh my
so
god.
strength would be
A 4 or 5?
5.
4. 4? You. He hands you the bucket. You've got it.
I grab the
It's
bottom of
wobbling,
it.
but it's
Oh,
above
no.
you.
I grab the bottom of the.
Yeah. Yeah, you. Oh. So grabbing the bottom ring, you hold it, you turn, and then it. All the water just dumps out all over you. There's still some water in it, though, a little bit, but not nearly as much.
Like an inch of
Like
water.
wearing a dress over my head. Basic dress.
Oh yeah, no, it all went onto the ground.
Yeah, so there's only like one little piece.
Yep, you're holding the very bottom of it. It has a little bit of water in it still.
I hand it back to Titus.
My bad.
A part. So he hands you the bottom part of it now. So you'll have to put that back together next turn. And then Clovis's turn. Venora. Hey, but you are nice and cool in this cold
I
water.
feel great.
Also lost
I
Titus' trust.
His bucket trust. Venora?
don't hear battle anymore, right? And Titus, I watched Titus fill up a bucket, so I think it's over. So I am going to dash back the way we came
Okay.
out, and just to watch where the people are going and make sure there's.
Any Venora's turn, Edelvar.
I mean, no glass. I definitely didn't hear the Gnoll go through the window. I am just gonna make it back to the group on horseback.
On the horse?
Yeah.
50 gets you past Holik. So you go another 10 feet, like past Holik that way if you want. Holik, out of the shadowy smoke, Edelvar just rides past.
I'll ask him, are there any more people?
No.
Okay.
No. All right. In the middle of a fire. Are there any more people? No. All right.
Not that I know of.
I will take children. Am I here?
It's probably the one closer to the children, but
So I get it.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna
so running out and
release
around the
them, I'm gonna
building.
and then chuck them as hard as I can.
Okay. Go! Like 2 footballs.
Their bones are still soft, right?
Yeah. Okay. Ending your turn, Ghibli.
All right, then.
Unless they find your friends.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My eyes fall, just still trailing to the window. It's like, you coward! And I'm going to try to vault that window,
Okay.
chasing out, give
So
chase.
5, 10, 15, it gets you to the window. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
10.
10? You
Yeah.
barely jump out the window, land there, so that's 20 feet. You have another 5, but it is still 10 feet ahead of you.
So 10. I'm going to use
It
my dash.
keeps
I'll
running.
use my dash action. And with my dash, would I be able to tackle it by any chance?
Technically, that would be just like the grapple action or grapple attack. I'll say you can run like remember Jericho in the
Yes.
clay pots. I'll let you run right into it if you want, and we'll just have it make a check. What is your strength score?
My strength score, it is a 15.
15. Okay. I will say running straight into it. I'll make this just like a DC 12. If it rolls strength check lower than 12, you'll knock it over.
Okay.
6?
Yep.
Okay, so you just run right into it. So just for the sake of, whatever, put Ghibli and this thing in the purple of the void. They're next to each other and knock it over. So you just run straight into it, shoulder check it, it falls to the ground, and you were standing over it.
And I just pulled my sword out, just pressing my sword right at its chest right there.
Okay. Ending Ghibli's turn. The NPCs all running, and then you see now crowds of them beginning to form and grabbing buckets and stuff and running towards the fountain.
That you just poured out.
I
know.
Holik?
Somebody poured it out.
Did I
Somebody got
hear
a
him yell coward
bucket of
and
water
jump
poured
out
on
the
their
back
head.
window?
Huh?
Did I hear him yell coward and jump out the back window?
I'll say you don't hear him jump out the back window. There's no sound of that, but you do hear him say "coward" from inside the building.
Okay. I'm gonna try going around the side, just...
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. You can get like 3 squares past that building, or like running along
Is
the
he
side.
within sight of me?
No.
I have 20.
Still no. I mean, 20 gets you to the edge of the 20 feet site would be the edge of the map site, and they're off that by like 15 feet.
If I use
If you dash, certainly. you're
Yeah,
within sight.
I'll dash.
Okay. So you're at the edge of the map, and you see you're like 5 feet away from them, and you're now standing right beside Ghibli, standing over the knoll. Unless you didn't want to be that close.
No, that's fine. And I'm gonna yell for Vith in Draconic. Pin him!
Okay, so Vith
And-
jumps out the window as well. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check for Vith.
I don't think that makes it. 7.
7? Okay, so it's just difficult terrain to get out of that window. So
Okay.
5, 10, and then 20 to get out the window and on the ground. 25, 30, 35, 40 still gets onto the knoll. Go ahead and have him make the athletics check, and it will make
Is it advantage because he's prone?
I'll give Vith the advantage.
Okay.
On the athletics check. And he has a natural 20.
Yeah, no.
Just rolls away as Vith just goes pouncing onto him and totally misses.
Okay.
End of your turn?
Yep.
Now the Gnoll will stand up and with his spear kind of like slightly on his back foot. He just lunges for Ghibli. Better be a good roll. Oh, is this the first hit on Ghibli?
When he
A 19
can't,
to hit Ghibli.
when
Hits.
he can't riposte anymore.
Oh, you can't repulse anymore?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know why. Ooh, 11 damage. Just glances past your thigh and tears into it.
I quickly wince over, but I still keep eye contact with him.
Okay.
Just gonna slowly raise up.
He will still kind of just like standing there, backing up slightly, like yipping towards you. All right, that ends his turn. Lumen, you want to keep putting the fire out? All right, roll another wisdom check. All right, the fire does not move.
Not good.
Yeah, 1. Titus.
I'd like to fix my bucket. Try again.
I'll give you bonus action. Now, knowing how it goes together, you reassemble it. And go on, let's just have you make a strength check. See how much water you can put in this thing.
Good. I have advantage.
Good.
17.
Okay. You can get like half full, like a laundry basket half full of water. You want to move over to the fire?
Yeah.
I don't want it this time.
Go ahead and make
You're not getting
another
it.
strength check to see how much of a spread you get on this over the fire.
20.
Okay. So another 15 feet. Levi, you want to just like 15 foot, just straight strip of that fire there. Just goes out. And there's just a little bit left in that room now, but most of the fire in this building is out between the two of you. All right, ending Titus's turn. Clonus?
Clonus doesn't know what to do, so he's gonna try using his shield as a makeshift bucket.
Okay, you might be able to get a little bit of
Just
water.
a little bit of water, just
Yeah.
like start splashing it
Okay,
as best I
yeah,
can.
helping it as
Yeah.
much as possible. You, we're pretty much out of initiative here, actually, because you are pinned with this thing. It is stopped, and it seems like it's not going to attack you anymore unless you're going to.
I ain't going to.
Okay, then we're not out of initiative.
Actually, wait. Clonus is, instead of like trying to make it as a splash, he's gonna like think about how he can make the shield as like a funnel to help fill Titus' bucket.
Okay,
So he can get
so
it
the next time
full.
Titus comes back to get water, you're going to help.
I'll help load up the bucket.
I'll use my reaction to say, help the villager. Use your shield from the fountaintop into their buckets.
Villagers are running up to here pretty soon. All right, Venora.
I am just going to continue running out of town. You said a lot of the villagers running back in, but I'll help like any of the younger ones or anybody who's hurt try to
Okay.
get them to the cart.
Okay. Edvard?
What direction is the wind blowing? If any.
Based on how the smoke is going, it seems most of it is blowing north.
I'm gonna have Crow, Pigeon, Raven fly 80 feet into the air, and then use my
It's
action.
a little clearer. I mean, the smoke is still blooming up there, but it's significantly clearer.
Use my action to see through its eyes.
Okay. What are you looking for, just in general?
Torchlight of like fleeing gnolls in any direction.
Okay, make a perception check.
22.
Okay. Yeah, perception is +3. All right. Doing the absolute best it can with the smoke and stuff everywhere. It does see to the southeast a small group, pretty far away at this point, like well over a mile. But you do see just like the flickering torchlight. Okay. Also, he would see that little altercation right there between Ghibli and...
Oh.
And then in the various homes and stuff, he can see... Because surrounding this whole square are more homes, like 100 feet away here, 100 feet here. People coming out of their homes and, like, rushing to this area to start putting the fire out.
He will fly 40 feet down and southeast and just follow the torchlight.
Okay.
For the foreseeable future.
All right. For this foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Okay. Ending Edvard's turn, Cephas. Just helping the people get out?
Yeah, I mean, do I see fleeing people?
Like civilians?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all running the direction you ran. A bunch are running that way. You see some people running this way. You guys are on the edge of town on this side.
And I don't see any gnolls following them or anything like that.
Not this direction. Nope, you don't see any gnolls running this way.
And I don't hear the commotion over there.
I would say probably not.
Okay.
There is a burning house to the right of you.
Yeah, and I didn't see anyone check that, so I'm just going to go check that building as well.
Yeah, rushing up to the door, opening it up, you look in. I mean, it's burning like half the home now is consumed by, you don't see anybody in here. You do see straight ahead, like this destroyed wardrobe, but...
And I'm just going, anyone in yet?
No response.
All right. And then whatever dash movement I have left, I'll just go to the next building down the line.
Okay. The next one down the line, the door itself is burning. But
are there any windows?
There are windows you can see from the side and like looking through.
I mean, I would have looked probably that because I would go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'd look in any windows if I saw
and
anything.
you see inside, it's burning at like the front door and it's starting to move outward, but you don't see anybody inside that one either. Both of those.
I would still put my mouth like, anyone in yet?
Okay. A loud echoing call and no response.
All right, and that would be. So I'll get to the.
I think pretty soon the
Okay.
initial movement and stuff won't matter here. So.
But yes, okay.
All right, Ghibli. It's like on its back foot. It's like kind of like going like this with one of its hands, like pulling its spear back.
With the lizard still right next to him, I go across opposite of the lizard, getting flanking, and I'm going to attack him.
Can I use my reaction to try and say, just knock it out?
You can say that, sure. What do you say?
Knock it out. Let it lead us back to camp.
Yeah. What do you do?
Whatever you do is...
To do that, still you'll have to attack it.
Yeah.
But you can decide to drop it, to knock it unconscious instead of killing it when you drop it to 0.
All right. I'll roll with advantage for the flanking. All right, then. That's a 16.
16 hits.
I'm carefully considering your words for that quick second. Then I go and attack. Will an 8 kill?
8 damage?
Yes.
That will kill it, yeah.
I will then go up behind his ear, and in Dwarvish I will say, a good gnoll is a dead gnoll.
Okay.
And I go and strike, and I clock him in the back of the head.
Okay. Knocking it unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You still drop it to 0, but leaving it now unconscious
Yes.
rather than bleeding and dying. You whisper that into its ear. It has no idea what you're saying, but it turns to, with you that close, seemingly not going to attack it, but, whispering, it turns, starting to turn to, bite at you, and at that second you crack it in the back of its head, knocking it to the ground unconscious. All right, that ends initiative. All right, with that, the next few minutes as you guys all start, helping civilians get to safety, others... some of the older, the adults, some of the women, and some of the elderly, and you see, here and there, a few men, some of them noticeably, a limp, or one of them missing an arm. One you see is blind, reasons why they wouldn't have been taken, some of the adults. And you assume probably some of the women, some of the able-bodied women, the reason they haven't been taken is they probably have children. And some of the elderly all grabbing buckets and stuff, trying to do a bucket brigade here to get the fire out. Those of you by the knoll, what are you doing once it's unconscious, are you tying it up?
Yes, I'm going to tie it up.
I was going to get any weapons it has away from it.
Okay. Do you have rope?
Yes, I
Do you
still
have proficiency in knots?
I do not.
Okay, so just roll an intelligence check.
That's a 10.
Okay, pretty quickly and easily you bind its hands or behind its back and bind its feet. You disarm it as best as possible. You do find a pretty gnarled and haphazard short bow. You find that bone spear it had. It's just this long, jagged, thick stick, and it has this hip bone that it's carved down to be sharp.
I'm just gonna throw those in away from
Into
the
the
town
field?
square.
Yeah. Okay, out into the field.
I just go to the fountain, lean up against it, and then scrawl on a piece of vellum that I have, looking through the raven, and I'm going to continuously be through the raven's eyes, following the things. Because I can activate it while it's in within a certain range, but after that I have to just sustain it. I can't go back into it, so...
Oh, to see through it?
I'm incapacitated, wrapped up against the
And how
well.
fast can it fly?
120 feet per round.
So it's just dashing
80 feet
towards-
above, yeah.
Okay.
Once I get the weapons away and he's starting to be tied up, do you got this from here?
Yeah.
I'm going to come on to Vith and go to where the people are, and I am going to take out that sprig of mistletoe and cast a spell on my way over there. Gathering people together, making sure that people are getting a head count if anyone else is missing.
You were just running over to the area you guys were sending people to, right? Out of town? Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get people to group up and
Nora's there and has all
catch
the
their
injured
breath.
in the back of
And
the
I'm
wagon.
going to, once we've got people starting to be together, I'm going to pass out 10 good berries to people. Heal them, give them nourishment. But
So
all the
Venora,
fires are out.
Venora has already started gathering people over there. The people that are gathering here are the ones not helping with the fire. So it's some of the really old and elderly, some children, and you start handing out these large berries to each of them. And the kids start kind of nibbling on them and down them pretty quickly. You notice all of the kids very hungry, and the couple elderly you hand the berries to in that moment you have enough to hand to everybody that's here, so nobody thinks to hand them to anybody else. Everybody just eats them quickly and is very hungry, and you see immediate satisfaction, their stomachs magically with these magical berries. They are full as they thank you so much.
It's really late, right?
It's just past sunset.
Oh, so not super.
No, it was the sun was setting as you guys were arriving and running up here. I'd say the sun has since set. So the light,
it's getting pretty dark.
It's the lightest part of night, but it's not pitch black outside, and there's still burning homes that are providing a little bit of light.
I would just sit in the back. How many
I'm-
kids can sit in the back of the wagon?
The wagon's pretty far out still.
That's where I was just taking them while they're putting out fires and stuff. I was
Okay.
taking all the
It
kids
still
to the
would be a
wagon.
little while till you get there.
I would tell when we got there, I would tell the wagon to
pull forward.
a bit. Not all the way to town, still about 50 feet or so. Right?
Then as we're walking towards that, I'm going to go to the kids. If they have any stuffed animals or sewn rag dolls filled with hay or whatever, I'm gonna cast light. So I'm gonna take out my phosphorescent moss and rub it on the faces of all of their stuffed animals or whatever blanket
Some of the
or
kids
something
have
that they
nothing,
have, or
but-
anything that they might pick up.
But some of the kids definitely have their favorite, probably their only
because
toy
they'll
for
probably
most of them.
just clinging on to whatever was around them.
So one of them is carrying a blanket, one of them is carrying a stick that it found on the ground, it probably picked up to try and defend itself with. You see a couple of them are carrying probably the only toy they own, these little straw dolls and stuff. And doing that as you guys are walking to or running out to the cart. And at this point, Samson has started moving the cart towards everybody. You can probably get like 6 kids in the back.
How many kids are there?
I mean, at this point, everybody's kind of gathering around you now. There are 16 children of various ages. I mean, it's a town of like 300 people, and most of them are women and children and elderly. Actually, all of them.
I get all the kids below, like, if there's any kids below 10. Put them in the wagon.
Okay, yeah, you can probably get, we'll say 8 of them in there. It's a very small wagon, and they are shoved in there. But they're just like cramped sitting in there right now.
Once we get that group back to the wagon, I'm going to go and try and round up anyone else that would have just scattered
Yeah, because people are running everywhere.
Is there anything anybody else wants to do?
Well, once I check all the houses that are on fire,
okay,
I'll be helping put out the fires.
Okay, yep. I will say you guys pretty quickly, confidently know all the houses that I've drawn here, they're all
And
empty.
I'll be asking them to, like, hey, has this been checked? Or,
Yeah.
you know, so.
And people, you see some of the villagers have run back now as well, and they are checking, looking for specific people, or there's like an older man that opens up one of the doors that hasn't been opened yet, or as far as he knows, and like, calls into it to see if anybody's in there. Like, they're all doing their best to make sure that everybody is safe. As people start making their way back into the village, there are a couple moments where I would say Cephas and, well, you guys are kind of out of it, but some of you that are in the village right now, so probably Cephas and Clonus. Titus, you're a kid, you're kind of doing your own thing, but you do note, and Edovard, oh no, you don't see this. So Cephas and Clonus, you notice, like one of them stumble across like a body. I mean, in the very center of the town here, there is that old man. And then over here, there's a couple, and
however many others
the kids aren't coming back into town. The kids are being corralled, but there's like a couple of women and some of the older people, like they stumble across, and 1 or 2 of them kind of just drop to their knees.
And if there are any, I mean, that aren't dead beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go and see if I can.
You do notice one of the older women walking back. She's, I don't know if you saw her, but she would be the one that like slammed the door on that knoll. She has kind of a large gash across her arm. And she's right now like on her knees looking at the body of just this middle-aged woman that's like on the ground, just kind of kneeling there. Just, she's not crying, she's just looking at it.
So sorry for your loss, miss. As I put my hand on her, I will give her a lay on hands of 1 hit point.
Okay. You see it addresses the most necessary of the wound first, and it closes it mostly with that kind of, she doesn't even pay mind to the pain going away really, but just looks up at you and, this never should have happened.
You're right.
That's all she says.
If the fires are mostly being taken care of,
I'll say there's enough citizens, and with Titus and Clonus helping them, I'd say with the villagers, you notice it, and with Lumen, like guiding this effort. The first to start it, you see most of them kind of like coming to help Lumen, and then one by one, you kind of guide, I'm assuming guide civilians to the next one, and they all start putting them out. You see they've got it handled.
I'm going to start taking people that are gone, taking the bodies and bringing them behind. Like most people went out this way, I'm going to start bringing them behind a building and gently laying them out.
There's like some almost alleys where some of these buildings are closer together, like right here. You could probably put them where there's not another house for quite a few hundred feet.
Yeah. Just where, no one is going to see them out in the open, but also so people can come and identify and be
okay. And if people ask, I'm assuming you probably send them that direction. But to mitigate the possibility that people stumble across them, you respectfully and carefully go lay them back there. They're in various states of disrepair, some of them, but you lie them back there and situate them as best as possible. I will say, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
14.
Over the course of this, if this is what you dedicate like a majority of your time here to, you come across 13 dead. The few that were here in this center part, this was not the only battle here. This is just the one that you guys finished. There were a few homes here and there and throughout the village. This village still houses, 320 something people. And whatever you do find, actually I'd say a couple homes where gnolls have been dealt with by the villagers. They piled on top of them and, pitchforked them to death. But it looks like the gnolls hit other homes and then ran and got away. And whether those gnolls came here or they left, you're not sure. But you do find 13 dead throughout the village.
And if there are any all the gnolls I find dead, I don't necessarily hide them. I start putting them in one spot, sort of in a pile.
Okay. So bringing them more towards where you guys killed quite a few. I will say the area you found that Ghibli was in, you find 4 dead. That little pocket of this battlefield.
I noticed those, their wounds are
very small.
With what he's,
Yep.
Lumen must have got these ones.
With his antenna.
His proboscis went right through.
Gross. That's so disgusting.
During the course of
Like,
this, I would
there's-
have Samson, right?
Samson's the old man that you guys are helping.
To unhook his horse and get the cart that was left, and make like a
His mule.
yeah, his mule,
Mhm.
and make like a barricade kind of,
Okay.
and put fire in the middle so that and just tell stories and stuff and distract the kids.
Okay.
during the-
It takes a bit, but he
just
offers to
something.
do it. Like if you stay with them, he will go get it. So it takes a little bit to
That's just one
detach
of the
the mule. Okay.
any
And
children
then-
among the 13.
Unfortunately. I mean, you find in
Right,
that
you're
building,
gonna find-
that building I described to David, where he found the child and the lady, and they said across from them there was one it had killed a child. So I would say you probably find 4 are kids, but the majority are either elderly or women. There's 2 men.
Are Clonus and Minora the only ones that saw me big?
I think so. I mean, everybody has Edovard and Lumen have now, being in the. Oh,
Wait,
Edovard, you did because you
Yeah.
ran up to.
yeah,
After
right.
combat ended, it only would have been 30 more seconds.
So 5 more rounds. Yeah, I mean that Edovard, Lumen, Clonus, and Venora have seen you that way.
And
But
also,
he saw you for just a moment, and then you watched him go, and his eyes went.
uh,
Edovard's did.
reverting back would be surprising to me. I would.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you're still holding this huge bucket, and then you and the bucket back to your normal size.
Sad. So I'm helping, but I'm slightly sad because I thought I'd be big forever.
Because you thought you'd be big forever. That's amazing. Okay.
And while let's see, Cephas is looking for the bodies over there. I would just be carrying the other gnoll on my back, just bringing it back to to the center. It's like
Go ahead and make, because of the size disparity, just go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
You got this.
19.
Okay, yeah. Easily, you grab, the bindings on his hands and his feet, lift him, up over your shoulders, and you carry it into the city, or into the village.
And just a dead look in my face. Just not victorious, but more just almost a fetus look with what happened here. I see the pile of gnolls that's right there.
Yeah.
I want to put the unconscious gnoll, on one of the buildings, having it facing towards the pile of gnolls.
Okay.
So
kind of situating him there, his legs are bound, but you kind of shove him up against the wall so that if he wakes, he will see the pile of loss for him.
So I just stare at the gnoll, just gripping my sword just very tightly.
Okay. Just waiting for him to wake?
Just hoping that he gives me a reason to just strike him down.
Okay. Fair enough. Did you have something, Lexi? Oh, okay. I thought you were raising your hand. Sir, I'd like to try something. Okay. So the next 30 minutes go by simultaneously, quickly, but in every minute is kind of grueling. It is full of gathering dead, gathering these horrifying monsters and throwing them into piles, and keeping children from keeping their wandering eyes from horror, but also trying to cheer them up. And you're successful with some, and for others, they are traumatized beyond belief, and others just want to run back home and find something. Quite a few of them are crying and calling out for their fathers. But I'd say within the next 30 to 40 minutes, the fires are out. People are gathering. Most of the people that are in the kind of outskirts of the village kind of come to the center. There is now a large crowd of 150 people who have all gathered into city center. A lot of loud discussion and arguing over what they should do or what they could do. It's not riotous yet, but it is on the brink of getting out of control. There was kind of a unification at the beginning as everybody put the fires out, but now pretty quickly, people are divided into 3 different groups that are all kind of yelling at each other. Just mostly bickering, I should say, not screaming and yelling about what to do and what they should do. Is there anything anybody would like to do with that?
I've already found the bodies.
What you guys have said you were doing has concluded at this point.
Yeah.
And while you were doing that, this group has gathered.
I would have gotten that once I'd rounded up another round of good berries to the ravenous, hungry children.
You use another spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then going back to the group, though, everybody's split up into the 3 camps. Is there a leader of the town that's still here?
Go ahead and make a charisma check for me. Are you trying to yell over the group? Just go ahead and make a strength check, actually.
Oh, cool. 15.
Okay. In the midst of argument, one guy kind of steps away and looks at you and, yes, I should thank you for your work. And he steps forward and reaches to shake your hand. My name is Lambrick. I'm mayor. Just over this cacophony of bickering and shouts behind him. Some people, we should send people after them. Others kind of just, we should probably just pack up and move. If they come back and they don't find us, then maybe they'll give up. And we should all go storm Fort Trinity and demand soldiers come back and kill them all for us. I saw some get away. I saw some take people.
Taking his hand, I'm gonna just in a softer voice to not
add.
Yeah, not to add to any of the ruckus, and just for it basically be me and him. We met your man, and the old man that was on his way to Fort Trinity.
Oh,
we came
Samson,
back with him.
yes.
They have kids and people at the carts, and we're gonna try and collect ourselves, and then once we feel like this place is safe, we can go after the Gnolls. Do we have any information on them? Because I hear that you have had dealings with them, but it was mostly just paying them.
Sent a few to go check out where they might be.
I mean, I do see Edivar in his trance state, right?
Yeah.
Trance state?
Trance.
Got it?
Yeah. I've already seen the other state.
That's right, that divine sense.
So,
Desecrated.
I mean, if they're all...
Divine sense revealed that he used to be he used to be a woman.
Advantages, man. It's full operation.
Surgeries were different back then.
They were.
I mean, I don't necessarily hear this conversation over all that cacophony.
You probably notice it, and you can choose
I wouldn't
to
be
join
hiding the
Well, I
conversation.
see him talking with that person. I also hear all the arguing, but I will yell, good people, do not dishonor your dead with disunity. If you want to see their faces again, You have but a moment before I work on burying them. And then...
Go ahead and make a persuasion check if you'd like.
Guidance.
Oh!
Is it just balanced?
Yeah, it's balanced flat. It's flat. It's flat.
And what is it?
A 19.
No, that's 13. No, it's 13.
To
It
get
looks
that
like a
reaction, I
19.
thought it was a 20 maybe.
19.
Okay.
It was a 19. I was right. I was right the entire time.
You were incredible. Okay. A vast majority of the people do quiet at your command. And you kind of have their attention if there was more that you wanted to say.
I'm going to say, as you can see, my good friend here, and then I question whether or not I'm lying.
Should I make a deception check?
Edivar. I can see that he's probably tracking them now. I can promise you this. We will help bury your dead, and then we will avenge the name.
Okay. With advantage, go ahead and make one more persuasion check, and you can still guidance him if you'd like.
That was a 19. Guidance is a 24.
Okay. With that, men and women and children like yell in response and cheer in admiration.
And upon hearing this, I look up from my head while standing next to that gnoll that was unconscious, and actually stand up and I stand right next to you. And if not for you, I will see to it personally that they will get there too.
Everybody kind of unifies with this, and the crowd is kind of circling around that situation there in the center now with Edovard and Cephas, Clonus, and why can't I remember your name? Sorry, Ghibli. For that interaction and what's going on here, Ghibli, Cephas, and I think Ghibli and Cephas. Go ahead and roll a d4 each. Inspiration. With that, people slowly kind of circle around what's going on. Most just kind of watching Edovard now, waiting to hear if he knows anything of it. The conversation between Mayor Lambrick and Hullet continues, though. I can't begin to thank you enough about what you've done here. You've saved many of us, and I assure you we will facilitate what goes on here for the rest of the night. Did Samson promise you anything, or did you all just rush here when he told you what was going on?
We rushed here as soon as we had heard.
He smiles and nods. I must thank you tenfold then, because if the Raskelian army and those in charge at Fort Trinity have as good hearts as the 8 of you did, then none of this ever would have happened. I think they meant well when they took our able-bodied, and I'm inclined to believe maybe they haven't been getting our messages. But if they have, it's very disheartening. What was your name?
I'm Hullet.
Look, my name is Lambrick Storm. I suppose I'm the de facto mayor.
Well, I'm Hullet, the big man Cephas, Clonus, Lumen, Ghibli, and I'm not sure where everyone else is. That's Edovard. Yeah. That one.
The blind one.
catatonic. He's not usually blind. I think he may be tracking them like Cephas had said.
Right.
But I'm not sure.
Are you all soldiers in the Raskelian army?
No. We're just a hodgepodge of sellswords or random people that were hired for something else, and we were all just traveling up to Fort Trinity.
Well, I must say, I don't know if you intend to rest tonight first or not, but you asked for the information we had. I have sent before this a few people to go spy on the camp. We do know it's to the southeast. I would imagine your man here can corroborate that. There were, as people kind of gathered up there, and this conversation was happening, and there's a lot of people just kind of like now talking to each other. The anger and spite in the group has kind of died down a little bit, and there were some people that did walk up to ask you, like, hey, I haven't seen my mother. Do you know if, and kind of like usher them to the right spot.
And a little bit of commotion. I also want to specifically look for the people I was able to help out, like the ones I specifically helped.
The ones you saved?
The other ones I saved, and I want just to see like their current situation, see if there's anything I can do to help them.
It's going to take a while to round them up. It was a small community. So.
Yeah, you saved like half the village. Yeah, for sure. I would say with enough time, it's a big group of people, but you do find the two women, that first lady and her child.
Ow!
Roll a d4.
I already took the damage.
Or just step on one. You do find them. I think there was like 6 of them that you helped facilitate getting out. Everybody seems okay. The 2 kids that were involved in your rescue have since been given a good berry by Hulk, and they seem very happy. One of them is now sleeping on his mother's shoulder. The other one is just kind of sitting with some of the other kids, like not knowing what to do. The lady and that like teenage girl, they are helping like get some of the kids, like bandage some of the kids' knees that like fell on the ground and stuff like that. But they all seem to be doing okay. The one lady who you saved first, she does ask if you would go back with her to her home and see if she can like try and figure out what's left to gather up. But I might need somebody strong to help me lift some of these things.
Oh, I am at your service, ma'am.
So yeah, with that, her and the other lady that was in the other burning building, they go back to those homes and try and like fix up what they can. And I would say both of them and you kind of work together on one and then go to the next one. So like one of the ladies goes, let's work on your home first and then let's go to mine. And they just kind of start clearing the rubble. But what's cool right now that's not still very hot, and start trying to clean it up as best as possible.
Yeah.
There's still going to be 2 gaping holes in the side of their home, but with time they can fix it, hopefully. But with that, he continues to the southeast. There's supposedly a camp. We were never able to get close enough to it without getting chased away, but I know that their tracks went that way, and the night before last night, they came and they told us that they'd return again. We didn't think so soon, and if we did not have any food for them or anything of value, they'd start taking people. That night they tried to take one of our elderly named Teresa, Thrawn's son. He kind of gestures to the man, and you see the one he gestures to is actually the man that bonked Vith on the head. The guy kind of walks up, and you see he's still holding this basket of clothes, and you see like a toy in there as well and stuff. You actually also see 2 what look like crutches, like canes that would, or sticks that have like a U shape on the top that he could walk around on, but they don't look big enough for him. He says, this is Carrick Thrawn. He owns the Wicker Spoon, the inn there, that managed to avoid the fire. And Carrick kind of nods to you and just kind of grits his teeth a little bit and then turns back away, and he starts walking towards the inn. Didn't want to say it again in front of him, but Carrick's son was taken instead. They tried to take Therese, and she was going to go willingly, but his son Rickton managed to convinced them to take him instead in her place. Carrick was not there for it, or else I don't think he would have allowed it to happen. But Rickton is gone. That boy has a good heart. He's been limp all his life. I'm surprised they decided to still take him. But they did. And we hope he's okay. We thought that maybe, as cold and calculating as it might sound, that would be enough for them to not return so soon, but they came back. And I think some other angry parents who didn't want to see something like that happen to their children thought that they'd fight back a little bit tonight, and it didn't go very well. And they started. They hadn't been overtly violent with us until tonight, and I think in the face of such a reaction, they decided to maybe teach us a bit of a lesson. And they started lighting fires and just taking whatever they could find, and so that's about everything. All we know about the situation and everything that's happened up until now.
Well, thank you very much. Go help and be with your people.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna go over and help Cephas in digging graves.
Okay.
Because I think that's what you were doing next, right?
Well, I was mourning with those who were mourning, as they see, and I did my best that within my means to obscure anything grotesque.
Of course,
right.
I assume I mentioned earlier that you did your best to put them in a respectful means. Okay. If nothing else in the immediate, I would say everybody kind of gathers together and keeps the children safe and secure as much as possible, begins facilitating the mourning here for people, and after making sure that people have had the time they need, one by one, kind of checking off which ones have been seen, you start burying them. Some of the citizens ask if you would help them bury them by their homes, because it being a village, most of the homes are fairly spread out. Others are perfectly fine having them taken to what is kind of a graveside area. There's an area of the village off to the northeastern side of it where they've said that they've buried dead before. Some don't mind so much them being buried out there. They have you help them bury them there.
Try to find stones.
Okay.
Like smoother stones. Unless people ask for something else, I try to mark the graves with two big stones that are done at angles to look like...
Kind of like the hands?
Like the hands of Ilmater, yeah.
Okay. Nobody really protests that at all, but a couple do begin saying prayers. I'd say over half of them, the families, say prayers over the dead that you do not recognize to be prayers to Ilmater. You do, however, notice some of them pray to Barlow.
I'll be familiar with Barlow.
Yeah, she is life. Life in everything, natural.
Big tree temple.
Some just ask that their bodies be taken and contribute to the natural world, like prayers of that in that way. But a couple... Oh yeah, I mean, Barlow is one of the most prolific deities in the area, especially. And the last town you were in had a pretty substantial Barlow temple. It had that one that was like the Greek pavilion kind of looking building with the huge tree coming out of it.
I would also contribute then.
Okay.
Any seeds or flowers that someone would want to plant, then I could instantly.
Okay. Yeah, definitely some of those would be like putting little flowers and stuff on them. And with Druidcraft, you watch as like they take root into the graveside and like grow even more abundantly, and it would look beautiful. People are very appreciative of that. A lot of tears, just with that, like already crying, but then just overwhelmed with, joy and by that. But you do notice some others praying to who they're calling the Peacekeeper.
Can I roll religion?
Sure, go for it. Okay. They just keep saying Peacegiver and Peacekeeper. They don't say a proper name. But with that...
Sounds like it later to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I too?
Sure, go for it.
Which one is it? Division?
Yeah.
16 plus 6?
22. You recognize this to be a fairly common deity in this area. You've done a lot of research on the deities in the area, especially this continent, but these countries on this continent. There is a deity known as Eshanar, the Peacegiver or Peacekeeper. As the title would imply, Eshanar is one who would above all else see peace had between gods and mortals alike. Any faction disparities, squabbles, fights, tiffs, and wars are all counter to his nature. So he believes to resort to even a fight in the simplest terms is entirely and utterly intellectually inferior and brutish. Even the type of war, with such a high roll, even the type of war that other gods like Andraste would take part in, these very calculated, careful, and the ones like guided to be the least possible unnecessary death, are still rudimentary in thinking and flawed in nature, according to Eshanar. Anything that can be done to avoid violent behavior, even calculated war, it's a step too far. And that's who they're praying to in this moment. But as you all gather, mostly now having finished this process, this takes probably the next hour or so. It's not light enough work that I would say a short rest is available, unfortunately, because you are digging graves and helping people like get stuff out of their homes in some cases and stuff. But the citizens are now kind of facilitating themselves, and the graves have been dug. So it's been about an hour and 45 minutes now in total after the fight had concluded. Are you still working over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty quickly, I'd say within 30 minutes. What is his name?
Doesn't really have one.
Puke catches up and is pretty close behind these creatures. You see 8 gnolls, all running, some on the backs of these giant wolves, running to the southeast. And for the next hour, they run, until finally reaching what looks like a makeshift camp. Is Puke just following in the air?
He is about 80 feet in the air.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Advantage?
Sure. It is dark. He is a bird. And bird don't die.
Bird don't die.
Bird
20,
don't die.
not natty.
Okay, they never take notice. Even after arriving back at their camp, you see their camp is a collection of makeshift tents. There are cages with wolves in them, some empty cages, things of that nature. And they gather at the center. You see like throwing piles of stuff that they took, and in some cases like throwing like corpses into another pile of people, like villagers that they took from the village.
Any alive?
That he sees?
Yeah.
Make a perception check with the bird.
19.
There's a total of 4 villagers. All appear to be dead, but spending some time watching, when they kind of walk away from that pile, one of them seems to be like moving slightly, like trying to get away, and then one looks over and he stops moving. It's this like older man who's playing dead in this pile of
What a guy.
corpses. And then when not looked at, he's trying to get away, and then he stops again.
The Giga
This looks like the base camp.
This looks like their camp. There were 8 that returned here, and as they returned, they were welcomed by 2 more, and one of them, significantly larger, than all the others, standing tall with this huge staff that on the end of it has this strange kind of crooked, almost like a shepherd's crook, but it's very jagged in its shape. You see he has what looks like a large bone necklace around his neck. It's wound with some sort of cord, and you see 2 large red rubies strung to it as well. He stands there in the center and he's barking out these orders in this disgusting, very yippish, yipping kind of language, presumably Gnoll. And they all they're just fighting with one another. The way that he gives orders is he yells at one and then 2 kind of cower away, and then they scrap with each other, and then he backhands another one and tells it to go another direction, and they start dragging what looks like not the old man that's playing dead, but another one to him, and then he just tears part of it off and just chows down.
What are the rough dimensions of this place?
Of the camp?
Yeah.
What are the rough dimensions of that battle map in front of you?
About that big?
About that big.
Okay.
About that big? Okay.
And one corner is the king's corner and one corner is the dead bodies corner?
Is the what?
Where all the dead bodies are?
They're kind of just in the center next to this big bonfire.
Okay.
But while you're watching that, you notice they all kind of respect this bigger one. The rest of you gathering around Edovard, would you just keep watching? Or once you think you know how to get there, were you going to be done?
Now I'm invested in this old guy. Keeping an eye on him.
Okay. With that, you all kind of gather at the center. Is there anything immediate?
Did all kids get picked up by their parents?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Unless their parents are dead.
That's why I'm
but there are older... do you want to try and take account of which ones don't have parents with them anymore?
Yeah. Which ones didn't get picked up?
Okay. There are 4 kids who are being helped by some of the other older, women and stuff, but nobody comes to pick them up.
Can I ask one of the women out of earshot if they're related to them?
One of them says, this is my granddaughter, but the other 3, I know their parents, but I haven't seen them. I will send somebody to check the dead quickly. She says, very whispered to you. And then within a few minutes, she comes back, and 2 of the kids' mothers are dead. Their fathers were taken. Not taken, but with the army originally. So these 2 are now orphaned, and then one of them, the mother has not come, and the mother is not in the dead.
So I have 3 kids with me right now.
You have 3 kids with you. And she's helping,
Yeah.
and one is her granddaughter. And she is... The one who's missing is not her daughter, but one of the dead was her daughter. And she is doing her best to still take... When she is given that news, she... her eyes fill with tears and just start pouring silently. And then she does her best to just continue to keep her granddaughter safe.
I would ask her if she wants, if I should just keep these kids here at the wagon. Do we want to take them into town, into one of the houses?
She kind of gathers herself and...
Yeah.
I would say,
They're totally fine here.
I will walk throughout town, and I have some homes I can ask that I think would probably take them in. And I know some of their parents and who they were closest to. And she...
While she does that, I've told stories throughout the night, but I'm just going to pull out my violin and play a slow song, try to get kids to relax, to sleep, so they just don't
I'd
think
say
about
with
it.
relative ease, the kids are pretty locked on. They've kind of stopped asking questions about where their parents are, and they're just kind of sitting, waiting now. But with that, as you guys kind of gather up and bring everybody to the center, everybody is now going back to some semblance of normality. It's 2 hours-ish after the whole situation. People are helping one another rebuild what they can from the broken and destroyed homes and then the burned homes. People have taken account of who is dead, and there are occasionally outbreaks throughout the village of just wails as someone finds out one of their neighbors or family members has died. You do get a count of exactly how many people are missing. There are 4 that were taken during all of that, and then the 13 that were killed. And the mayor, throughout this whole situation, is kind of walking about with you guys now, as he learns this information and shares it with you. And he assures you that if you are here to help, do you intend to stay the night here and rest before going after them, or do you intend to go tonight?
I don't know yet that guy's faking being dead, that there's one alive.
He has not left his trance, unless you took out paper to write, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it just says I'm watching through the...
Oh, you're not writing still. I thought that's what the purpose was.
I'm basically asleep.
But there are 4 missing?
That's information is passed from everybody that there are 4 missing,
I
and then
might
the
be
13
woken
dead.
up now, depending on, because it was just 30 minutes. You said
it's been 2 hours
for me as well.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it was 30 minutes until you got to until he caught up with the band, and then they traveled for over another hour.
Oh, okay.
And I assumed that you were still the crow.
Yeah.
And so that was an hour and 45 minutes. And then you've been watching as the crow, I'm assuming, for the next 15 at the camp, right?
If there is, if the camp is this big and there's just those gnolls that came back, is there, a tent that nobody's going to, or, a pile of straw or hay?
There's probably one tent that you haven't seen accompanied by any gnoll yet.
I'm just trying to get the attention of the guy in the dead body pile.
As the crow?
Yeah.
Roll a...
He's going to land within,
Gotta get
15 feet of him and just...
nod his head.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a charisma check as the crow.
As the crow.
Just don't get the attention of the rest of them.
Not bad.
Ugh, bad. 13.
Okay. He kind of looks up, opening one of his eyes and sees, and he kind of cocks his head, very confused, at this crow that's nodding up and down and looking at him, and this hideous, gross crow.
One wing?
He kind of... One wing just points to the side?
Yeah, to the
tent. Open tent?
Yeah.
He kind of looks over there. What are you? Can you speak through the crow?
No, I'm out of range for that.
That's too bad. I thought you could. He kind of... You want me to go to the tent? Roll a persuasion check.
Super persuasive.
He's the most persuasive.
16. 18
that is incredible.
2. The crow has the same charisma as me.
Fitting. What you mean to say is you have the same charisma as a pockmarked crow.
Yeah.
There. He will roll a stealth check and try and crawl. He's 25 feet from the tent.
I'm looking. If there's 2 guys marching right towards him, I'm going to go... But the moment he goes, I'm going to fly around and squaw on the other side of the dead body.
Okay, that will give him advantage on the stealth check.
Yeah. Squaw.
Squaw. From a 2 to a natural 20. I rolled a 2, and then you said that. I was like, he needed the advantage.
Puke squaw.
So Puke flies to the farthest side when he makes sure that the coast is clear, and he kind of flags the guy to go, and then he goes over there, starts squawing everybody. Quick, I mean, everybody's all these gnolls are on edge because they think that they could have been chased. They don't know. Most everybody goes over to that side of the camp and starts throwing rocks at Puke and looking for him or throwing rocks in the direction of him.
He's going to dive bomb right into the face of the big crow.
A big gnoll,
you mean? Big crow. The big crow. Well, everything. He sees every creature as a crow. Through crow vision.
There's just no natural 20s.
He's holding his action. As soon as he goes within 5 feet of its face, it just feathers.
Okay, but to the rest of the gnolls, it looks like their leader just... And this thing goes And all of them just like screaming.
Good.
They love this man.
Good.
Cut to the guy, army crawling to the tent.
Yes. So as that's going on, now they're all partying and like screaming the name of their leader as this old man pulls himself to safety.
I've given him the only benefit I can.
He pulls these rocks underneath him as he like is crawling as much as he can, leaving this little blood trail behind him as he crawls underneath this basically glorified tarp where there is where he finds.
Well, if you're bleeding.
Well, if you're bleeding, he's so stealthy.
I mean,
the
it's
blood
not a
doesn't
mirror.
know how to get out of his body.
Yeah, but he might like cover, try to like.
Yeah, he gets
obscure
some
as
mud
goes.
caked in there. He
Turns out when
carefully
you're stabbed, you bleed a lot.
he carefully covers himself up in some like furs and blankets that are inside here, and
That's
he
the
is
best I
hidden
can do.
very well. And I will tell you confidently, this is the tent of a dead gnoll that you
Okay.
guys killed at this fight. So as long as nobody checks that tent or no other gnoll's like, hey, I'm an opportunist,
Yeah.
he is safe.
I tend to be.
Hey, where's this blood?
Then you.
Yeah, whenever temporally those two things meet up.
About now, like where we were with them, you open your eyes.
A little crow comes out of my chest.
Jeez, a chest burster.
Alien.
Yeah.
With that, you guys all kind of now, I will say you relay that information. So with that, what is your decision? As he kind of looks at you all.
I've got to go now.
I can go. I'd like to spare an hour, but even without, I'm confident I can go there.
To be quite honest, I'm quite winded right now. I would like to rest if we could.
Could we have gotten a short rest while he
Did
spent
you share that there was a
hours-
survivor that's hiding at
I
the
did,
camp?
absolutely. That's why I want to go now.
Maybe Edivar can take us on the wagon and we can rest in the back. On the way there.
If we can properly fix the wagon wheel.
There's the one that Samson had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to hold all of you, but you guys could.
You need a short rest is an hour?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you just take turns. Yeah. Okay. He just kind of. Well, if you intend to go now, we thank you, and he kind of like looks around, and the tavern keeper comes out of the tavern and looks at each of you, and if you're going to save my Richten, I can't thank you enough, and I will give you this. And he kind of like, whoever will put their hand out first, he hands you a vial, and in it just this dark, brackish liquid.
What is it?
What is this?
Yeah, it should bolster your strength slightly.
Okay.
Bring my son home to me, please.
Could I take that cane or the crutch for
The
him?
club? Oh. His crutches? Yes, please take them.
It was just the old man, right?
What?
No,
That I saw alive.
Yeah. Supposedly this kid was taken last night. And with that, as everybody kind of gathers, the mayor, go with the gods, please, and bring them back and kill the vile creatures that did this.
Well, with what Edovard's got, I don't see any reason to keep the other one.
The mayor looks at you, Ghibli, and you, Holik, who were standing next to it, kind of like going up near, and he says, if you know how to get there, kill this monster.
Just quick, I grab the gnoll and I take it behind one of the buildings to keep it out of the sight of the rest of the people, and just quickly just.
When
It's
he
like
goes,
struggling
I
and yipping.
say, don't make him suffer. Make it quick.
It's like trying to get out. It is going to try and get out of the binds while you're dragging it back there.
Can I be helping Ghibli drag it?
Sure.
Like
It has disadvantage.
Like grappling it, just for.
It crit failed.
I
It had a
just-
very high DC.
I just be with Ghibli.
Yeah. You hold its feet as he holds its hands. You guys take it back there, and quickly you just.
And so, and I just after getting just executing him, just kind of stand there just just for a moment, silence with Titus. And I just kind of put my head on his chest, just and hug him just quietly.
Okay.
Kids, including you, Titus, shouldn't have to suffer like this.
Well, let's go get the rest of them, and they won't have to. And then I kick the head of the dead.
Or you're not giant. Never mind.
Lucky is handsomely rewarded for his obedience.
Okay.
Apricot preserve.
Oh.
He still has his teeth.
He's gonna have diarrhea. But with that, everybody the citizens have now gone back to their homes. They're rebuilding. They're doing what they can. People are helping one another and comforting each other. And you see those 3 kids have now been given homes to go back to, and they will have to have a difficult discussion with those other families tonight. But these people will do their best to get some rest tonight and go back to what they were doing before. And children will be put back to sleep, and hopefully they will get a good night's rest while the rest of you all rush off to avenge those 13 dead and 4 taken.